What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube. Uh, 0-5. Can't say that I'm surprised, but 0-5. When it rains, it pours, and it is a monsoon for the Carolina Panthers. A really bad monsoon. Yeah. Uh, wow. But we're going to talk about it. I believe Mr. Carolina and Corey from Keep Pounding will be joining me in a little bit as well. But, man, this was rough, y'all. Detroit Lions get their revenge by defeating the Carolina Panthers by a final score of 42-24. Oof. Broski Bear, welcome to the stream. Ain't no sunshine when DJ Moore is gone. I see what you did there. Shout out to DJ Moore after putting up 230 against the Commanders this past Thursday. And a handful of touchdowns, 3, I believe. But the losing streak continues. But shout out to Bryce Young, threw 3 touchdowns in this game. Didn't really expect that, but hey, he threw 3 touchdowns. He also threw 2 interceptions. But you know, he got some touchdown passes in. Thielen went over 100 yards again. Chark got another touchdown. Uh, hey, they finally scored over 20 points with Bryce at the helm. This is true. This is very true. That they did. Hey, Chef 85, welcome to the stream. Says 2 picks really hurt us. Facts. Which, I mean, gotta give shout out to Aiden Hutchinson. He snatched that one just right, bam. He one-handed that. That was pretty impressive. That was actually pretty impressive. I gotta shout out Aiden Hutchinson on that play. That was very impressive. I don't know what Bryce was trying to do, but he just snatched that ball like that. Vietnam, welcome to the stream. Vietnam says Scott Fitterer needs to be fired. Believe me, bro, he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Super Trebo, welcome to the stream. I hate to say it, Jason, but we might only win 2 to 3 games at best. And Burns looks like he's already checked out and don't want to be there. Well, he got 1 sack today, but that's about it. Von Bell led in tackles. So, yeah, you may be on to something there. May definitely be on to something there. Oh, snap. Ladies and gentlemen, Vietnam with the first ever super chat to Blitzball Champ Gaming. Thank you so much, Vietnam. You hold the record for my first ever super chat. Thank you so much. Fire Scott Flitterer. Yeah, I feel you. Thank you so much for that. Much appreciated. But yeah, he's not the only one though. But nah, I feel you. I definitely feel you. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. But whew, this game. This game. The Lions running game ate us up. I mean, 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns. They ate us up. Whew. Jared Goff, 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Both Craig Reynolds and David Montgomery got rushing touchdowns. Oh man. No Amon St. Brown. No problem. No Brian Branch. No problem. Shoot. Yeah, we got jacked up. Chef 85 says several others need to be fired. Typical Burns, 1 sack and disappears. Cannot really blame him at this point. It's time for a fire sale beyond time. Yeah. Whoo-wee. Goodness gracious. And Miles Sanders fumbled again. That's twice now. Miles Sanders fumbled. Goodness gracious, man. Broski Bear says Panthers allowed 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. At least they're balanced. Oh yeah, the defense definitely faltered. Definitely faltered in this game. Clearly. Offense did what they could. Even beyond the struggles, were able to put points on the board, but we defense gave up a lot. Chef 85 says, gut this thing, scouting department, and this great coaching staff needs to be embarrassed for their efforts. No one cares across the board. Yeah, yeah. Joe Valesco says, is it time to put in Andy Dalton? Honestly, I'm really not so sure that it would 100% turn things around. We did have him in for 1 game, and while he made great efforts, we still lost the game. Not saying it's all on him. Of course, it's not all on him, but honestly, as a team, we can't win games. Just overall as a team, we can't win games. Look at us. We're 0-5. So maybe Andy Dalton helps, but I don't think that seals it. I don't think that seals it. Chef 85 says no one cares and it shows for the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, it's looking that way. Super Trebo says, Jason, at this rate, I'm wondering if Frank Reich is even going to make it to the end of the season. Next week at Miami's going to be really bad, which I think Miami won. Didn't Miami win today? I think Miami won today. Yep, 31-16. And, ooh, they put up 7 sacks. Jeez. Oh, my God. Oh, man, I don't even want to think about that right now. Vietnam, once again, another super chat, another $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Vietnam. He says, burn it all to the ground, complete rebuild. Again? Man, this might be like the 4th or 5th rebuild. Ugh. Broski Bear says Miles Sanders' fumbling issues go back to his time at Penn State. He fumbled 10 times in college. Ooh, that's way too much. That's too much. Chef 85 says I agree, Vietnam. Been screaming it for weeks. Broski Bear, as a Bears fan, I thank you for giving us DJ Moore and eventually Marvin Harrison Jr. too. It's all good. We'll see y'all. What is it? Week 10. We see y'all week 10. We'll see y'all in week 10. Who knows? DJ Moore will probably have flashbacks and probably get 300 on us. I wouldn't doubt it. Um, Phantoms is your. I keep telling Corey from Keep Pounding that Sanders was washed up in a terrible signing. But here's the thing though, Vietnam. Here's the thing you got to understand. You have to remember where he came from. And that's what I want to say about the talent. Execution's not going too well, but we can't say these players haven't been successful elsewhere, whether it's players that we've brought in or players that have left us and gone elsewhere. I mean, right now, it's definitely looking like it's not working out for us, but we can't deny the fact that he put up career numbers in Philly and played in a Super Bowl. We can't ignore that. Is he playing bad for us? Absolutely. I agree with you there. But we can't say that he's a trash player because he wasn't playing like trash with Philly. That's all I can say. Um, you're welcome, Broski Bear. Now y'all will suck. Will still suck for the next 5 years. Ooh. Mr. Gemini says this team is Oh, welcome to the stream. This team is trash, but at least Bryce had his best game today, though. This is true. This is true. Um, Someone has to get fired Monday. Yeah, yeah, or ASAP, one of the two. Miles Sanders was a product of the Eagles' offensive line. It's still he put up career numbers there, and he played in a Super Bowl, something we haven't had since 2015. You know, yeah, Sanders was great last year, but what has he done for us? Nothing. Well, he's not the only one though. He's not the only one. I mean, look at the others that we brought in, and look at some of the folks that we've had on here. I mean, it's across the board. It's across the board. We got to stop singling out a player. It's across the board. Right now this offense, and I mean, look at the defense. Defense broke down badly today. I mean, really badly. And we have to remember Detroit didn't even play at full strength and they still destroyed us. So, I'm not even so sure if injuries matter that much to our opponents cuz they played like they were a playoff team today, you know? Let me see. Because, I mean, I thought Chark was going to be like our main deep threat, but a lot of pretty much the biggest percentage of the passes are going to Thielen. So it's definitely it's a lot of folks. Where has Shy Tuttle been? I don't think Shy Tuttle has a single sack or Deshaun Williams. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. Let me see. Let me see. Chef says Young has made improvements. Hard to be successful when you're starting third and fourth string offensive guards. Still no excuses. All the players get paid. Oh, you can lose for less money. Yeah. So word on Chandler Zavala is that it's a neck injury. So they took him to the hospital doing tests. But yeah, word is it's a neck injury. And if it's a neck injury, I don't like the sound of that. I really don't like the sound of that. Um, let's see. Getting hurt is another blow to the weak unit, fire camping and fit as well. Well, I don't know, cuz we have to remember we came into the season uh with a injured O-line. We weren't at full strength on O-line when we came into the season. So that is something to keep in mind. Uh do you think we are still looking to trade for a receiver? They probably are, but I don't think that's going to fix anything. Vietnam says Young did play well, and I know that he's not the problem. Yeah, this was his best game. He definitely struggled, but 3 touchdowns to the 2 interceptions. I mean, he added on to that, so at least uh at least there was that. I mean, maybe a little progress. Got a long ways to go, that's for sure. He's got a long ways to go, but hey, that's a start, right? Um, do you think Bryce is getting better? Uh, I mean, a little bit. I think there was definitely a little bit of progress. I mean, there's still some things that need to be fixed. There's still some things that need to be fixed. Um, like one of the things, they got to get out of the huddle quicker. I mean, having to call so much when the time is winding down to like 3, 2, 1 seconds. I mean, they already had to delay a game or two today, so they got to be better at that. Um, I mean, Bryce had another strip sack, so there was that. But I think main thing is they got to let Bryce be Bryce. They got to let Bryce be Bryce, play to his strengths, and call plays to his strengths. I think that'll help tremendously. RG3 and Cam Newton were talking about this on RG3's podcast, and I believe he's right. I believe they're both right. And Cam even used himself as an example. So, uh, let's see. The defense isn't as good as the media hyped them up to be. Burns has checked out. Tuttle can't anchor the line. Brown is getting pushed around. Linebackers are poor. And that's another thing, a big hole in the linebackers with Shaq going down. And yeah, I'm not even so sure Frankie Louvu's 100%, but yeah, just the injury bug, if anything, the injury bug has really hit us hard, but it's really showing us, the lack of depth. It's really showing the lack of depth. Uh, let's see. Fit has wasted 16 draft picks over the past 4 years. Goofy trades and questionable reaches and free agency are but a few reasons as to why he should be fired. Where's Taylor Jr., Brandon Smith? Where did those two go to anyway? Didn't Brandon Smith? Wait, I don't think Brandon Smith got picked up by anybody. Did Keith Taylor get picked up by anybody? Um, uh, uh-oh. Broski Bear and Vietnam. Broski Bear, Lego Man in the next few years will be better than any quarterback uh Bears quarterback since Rex Grossman. Ouch. Although, to be fair, we have lost the last two or three games meetings to the Bears. So there is that. It's such a joke, honestly. 16 wasted picks is ridiculous. Mr. Gemini says Thomas Brown called the plays today. Did he? Did he? Huh. Interesting. Wasted picks. Fitterer doesn't know what he's doing. You can blame it on injuries, Blitz. They were trash before the season began. We all saw it during the preseason and week one. Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though. It is part of it. It is part of it, especially when we're not playing at full strength. And believe me, there's always going to be what ifs in surrounding that. Whether we want to admit it or not, there are always going to be what ifs. What if this person was playing? What if that person was playing? There's always going to be what ifs, you know? So, I mean, it's important that you have good depth because no matter what, it's always going to be next man up. That's important. That's why you got to prepare for those situations. You got to prepare for those situations. But we have to also keep in mind that the Detroit Lions are a better team than us. They're overall a better team than us, especially coached on both sides of the ball, as we just saw today. So, Chef 85 says so. Deion Jones plays a solid game against Seattle and is not dressed for 2 straight games. Makes zero sense. Another bad coaching decision. One of many. Was he inactive? So he's not injured or anything? Yeah, if that's the case, I don't know why the heck he was inactive. That's weird. Um, Mr. Gemini says our run defense is terrible like usual. Oh, the Detroit Lions offense ran all over us. David Montgomery, 19 carries, 109 yards, rushing touchdown. Craig Reynolds, 7 carries, 52 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Jared Goff had the sneak into the end zone for a touchdown. So yeah, 3 rushing touchdowns. It's crazy. Uh, let's see. Chef 85 says falls on the GM again. Lack of depth has always killed this franchise. We are reactive and never proactive. Quality depth is key as we always lack it. Facts. Agreed. 100% agree. Mr. Gemini said after that Hutchinson interception on the screen, we didn't see too many screens after that. Hey, I gotta give him his props. He made a great play. He snatched that just right then and there. Snatched it right out of the air. Gotta give him kudos. Gotta give him kudos. Super Trebo says, weird question here, Jason. Are you embarrassed when you wear your Panther stuff out and about in public? You feel like people chuckle at you? No. Why would I be? I'm still a Carolina Panther fan. Always have, always will be, and will be proud of it, no matter what this team is. That's what being a true fan's all about, Super Trebo. Got to go through the good and the bad, but stay true to who you are. And I am a Carolina Panther fan. Always have, always will be, no matter what. We could be 0 and 17 for the next 5 seasons. I'm still gonna rep my team. That's just how it is. Let me see. Oh, oh snap. Hold on 1 second. Apparently, okay, Corey's trying to get in. I don't know why it's not letting him in. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
It just wouldn't let me use the channel name. It wouldn't
Oh,
use the
okay.
channel name.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Um,
I'm in.
cool deal. A few other. Oh, Chef 85 says nope, he was inactive for the second straight week. Vietnam says they're a better team because they actually drafted well and had some terrific trades, giving them more first and second round picks over the last 3 years. They also have a good coaching staff. Don't sleep on Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson. They got a good coaching staff too. Talking about the Lions. Um,
Oh, true.
hey Blitz,
True.
can you pull up the pressers in real time so we can listen together? Oh, maybe I can.
Don't show it on stream because you'll get hit with copyright. But
I can play the audio though, right?
yeah,
Okay.
audio's fine.
Okay.
I don't know about visual though, because I think I did get hit with a copyright one time.
Okay.
All right, I got eyes on chat too.
Anything to us, but there's people out
There we
there
go.
that that's the essence and message of keep pounding. It applies to us. It applies to life, and
Can y'all hear that?
that's all there is. Keep
Nah, it's
fighting
too
to get
low.
better, and know that it's going to make an impact. It's going to make an impact this year, in future, tomorrow and future days. But you keep pounding to fight to get better.
Let me know if y'all can or can't hear that now.
Absolutely. We have a great group of veteran leaders, and listen, I don't feel sorry for any of us, right? But I feel bad that we're here. Like these guys are working hard, making sacrifices, and you want to win for a lot of reasons, but you want to win for these guys, these leaders in the locker room, and I believe that will happen. I don't know when, but I believe that we will keep working towards that. I believe we have the players to do it. I believe we have the coaches to do it. And that's why you fight and scratch and claw every day, because you believe that. And I will never waver in that. I know the guys in that locker room.
Do you believe that though, Frank?
So you have that belief, and you want it all to come to fruition right now, next week, against the Miami Dolphins, and this year, and we turn things around and have a miraculous turnaround, and that can happen. But if it doesn't happen, and if we're fighting and scratching to get better for future, then that's the benefit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I do know this, that I'm going to come to work. This will be my best
We're going to
work
lose.
ever.
Oh my goodness. Got a freaking spam bot.
I know what's going to happen. We're going to lose.
They're a good front. They play physical. They play hard. I did think we ran the ball effectively at times. Thought Bryce did a good job of managing the run game. We had some run-pass checks. Thought Bryce did a good job handling those run-pass checks.
We saw some frustration out of Brian Burns today, given that contract.
How would you know, Frank? You're the one calling the plays.
I meet with the leadership.
I'm not buying a single thing he's selling. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
And obviously Brian's in that
Oh,
meeting.
for real? Yeah.
So, listen, I cannot say enough about Brian Burns. He stands for everything you want a football player to stand for, everything you want a leader to stand for. I mean, that guy he's the epitome of what you want as a.
Oh, they're fluffing up Brian Burns for a trade.
That's where you feel bad for guys like that. That he's been here a long time.
They're fluffing up Brian Burns.
Not been able to win.
Why is he talking about him so much?
Everybody deserves better, but he deserves better. And he deserves
Gummit.
better. And I
That's
believe
not going to
that's why
solve your
we're here,
problem, Frank.
And I believe that
Show enough
it
ain't.
can work out where he can see that.
I'm not buying what he's selling. I'm just not.
It's disappointing. It's frustrating. It's agonizing. It's all those things. But I never waver, in my belief.
Is it, Frank?
In what we're doing and how
It
we're
is for
doing
us.
it and what
Is
it
it
takes
for
to
you?
win. I know it sounds. We say it over and over. I've, been through situations like this before, and got out of situations like this before. I know. I've seen it. I've seen it myself. For me personally, I've seen it in teams I've been on. I've seen it. In
Yeah,
other
you
teams.
might be
You've
seeing
seen
it,
it
Frank,
since
but we're
22,
not.
bro.
We're not seeing it,
It's
Frank.
not easy.
We're not
And
seeing
there's
it,
no
Frank.
You've seen it since
guarantees.
22,
There's no
bro.
guarantees. It turns
Where's the wins?
when and why you want it to turn. So that's really the essence of, who are we going to be? And are we going to keep fighting? And are we going to keep
You
pounding?
don't even know who
And
we're gonna
I
be.
believe we will.
Last one right here.
Oh, we're just gonna keep fighting. Oh yeah, keep fighting.
I think so. I think so. Well, I mean, I don't want to go into it too far because, you know, that'll continue to unfold. But um, as bad as some things were, there were some
Go
other
into
things
it
that
too far.
there was,
There's nowhere to go
you know,
into, bro.
it's hard to say this when you
Ugh.
get
You
beat
don't
the
have
way
a
we did today,
playbook.
but there's things in there that I see that we can build on, and we will.
Oh really?
Okay.
Oh,
Like
that
what?
that was it.
Like what? Like what, Frank? Tell me things that we could go
Oh
for.
man.
Because at this point, I'm not seeing anything we could go for.
Oh man.
Not buying what this man is selling. I'm sorry. This is a glorified car salesman.
But yeah,
You got to
Vietnam,
prove me wrong.
Vietnam, thanks for the call out on that. I appreciate that idea. I appreciate you. Um, Mr. Gemini says, "I'm never embarrassed to wear my stuff. I don't care what people say." That's what I'm talking about.
That's facts. Yeah.
Um, Vietnam says, "If I was at the Panthers game, I would be wearing a bag over my head like Lions fans used to." Ouch.
Ooh. He's got a point though.
Well, yeah, he has a point. That is true. Um, Vietnam says Frank is good with me. It's Scott that this falls on. Hashtag fire Scott. Oh wait,
We did this last week, Vietnam.
you're fine with Frank Vietnam.
We did this last week, Vietnam. I don't understand. I don't get it at this point.
I'll also
You
keep in.
literally watch Frank fail again and again and again, and you're still okay with that. Yet Scott is the problem after he spent $70 million, built this superstar roster on paper, and we can't execute. Whose fault is that we can't execute? Scott is not on the field in a uniform telling these guys to execute. No, he's not making an impact down there. How are you fine with Frank? Okay, let's go over the ways that Frank has screwed up this team, including today. And I'll start with this one today. The 4th and 5 situation today. We were in field goal range. Easy field goal range for Eddie. He has made these kicks before at the 40-yard line. Right? Was it the 40?
In the first quarter.
Yeah. Where we just ended up punting that ball for like 25 yards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What yard line was that? Because that was an easy makeable kick for Eddie.
He's
done
can
it
hit
before
those.
already.
He can hit those. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so here's what we do. All right, we would have started out with a lead of 3-0, but instead we decide, okay, first thing we wanted to try to catch the defense off sides. Okay, that's a natural reaction for a head coach. I'm okay with that. But then here's where we started screwing up. We said, okay, let's try to run a play, and with all the language of the play taking forever in a dinosaur year to get the play set up, and everybody still lined up where they're supposed to be lined up, we get down to 1 second up, delay of game.
Well, not only that.
Like, come on, guys.
Well,
And no timeout from Frank? None?
and
None.
and not only that, Vietnam. Don't forget about last week. And with the presser, with Frank Wright calling a play for Thielen, who wasn't even out there. Like, you can't do that as a head
That's
coach.
exhibit B.
You can't do that as a head coach.
That's exhibit B, bro.
And
And
because
then there's the lack of a
that's a
challenge
bad look.
flag. And then there's the lack of a challenge flag against the Vikings.
Oh yeah, there's that as well.
Where the
lack of a
refs
challenge
clearly
flag.
moved the ball after measuring the ball and the sticks with the sticks. It was clearly short. The refs move the ball, which is against the NFL rules, and no challenge flag. None. None whatsoever. How? Freak, wake up.
It was definitely a missed opportunity on that, but like, just
Tell
what
me this man cares about this team after that right there. Tell me this man cares because I'm not seeing it. I'm not
um
buying it.
let's see here. Let's get caught up. Chef 85 says Burns is gone. I would want to be gone too. Hyping up Burns for a trade. It's coming. Yeah, you had mentioned it.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
He just
Mis-
said it.
Mr. Gemini says there was a lot of empty seats today too. Um,
That's in Indianapolis, though. It wasn't in
it was in Detroit.
Indianapolis. It
It
was
was
in
in Detroit.
Detroit. My bad. My bad.
Jeffrey,
That was in Detroit, though.
yeah. Jeffrey Havescos, welcome to the stream. Hey, my friend. Scott Fitterer been killing this team from day one. Been telling y'all this nice, young, slippery Sanders sucked. Our GM has to go. CMC and my
You
favorite
can't.
DJ Moore not happy right now.
You can't give CMC situations where you are running him ragged and expect him not to get injured. That's number one. Number two, you can't expect Miles Sanders to be what he used to be with the Eagles if you keep running him into a 6 to 7 man stack box. I mean, come on. A perfect exhibit of that today was when you had like 7 people in the box. They all shifted over to the left. Where does Miles Sanders run? Right into him. That's the play design. He doesn't cut. He doesn't go
Um,
anywhere else. Just run straight into him. And you
uh,
expect him to get yardage out of that? Please.
Mr. Gemini says because Frank didn't call plays today. Vietnam says, oh yeah,
He didn't
facts.
call him in the fourth quarter.
Uh, I'm fine with Frank. It's Scott that failed by spending money on bum players or providing the groceries for
Bum
Frank to
player,
cook. Like,
bum players.
like I said, Vietnam. How are they bum players when they came from places where they were successful from? I could see if they were.
Thank you.
I could see if that they've never been good
Thank you.
before, but they came from places where they were successful, and that's
Exactly.
the only argument that I'm making. Like
And they
they,
put up the numbers to prove that they have the skills.
yeah. I
Go
mean,
look them up. It takes literally 5 minutes to Google search these players.
like that's really my only argument. Like is these players came from other areas where they were successful for, you know? That's the only thing I'm saying. Austin Corbett played in the Super Bowl. Hayden Hurst played in the Super Bowl
Oh my gosh.
2 seasons ago. Chart came from a great system in Detroit. The only thing that happened with him is he got hurt, but even before that, he was tearing it up in Jacksonville. Um,
Right.
Thielen. Thielen had been tearing it up in Minnesota even before Justin Jefferson came around. Now, I understand he also had Stephon Diggs as well,
Yep.
but he was still doing his thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, going back to Miles Sanders, like I said, I'm not disputing the lack of execution. There's definitely plenty lack of
Oh
execution,
yeah. Oh yeah.
but we can't say that these guys are bums when they came from other
And
areas where they were successful. Like
and shout out to Lavisca today, man. Lavisca tore it up today. He
like
played well.
yeah, yeah, he got off a few good runs, but like you know we got to keep that in mind. I could understand if we had like some Johnny Manziels or some Ryan Leaves or just wherever somebody goes they can't do jack, but that's not
Who
the
do you
case.
want us to get?
That's not the case with these players.
Who do you want
Um,
us to get?
Chef says fire both Fit and Reich. Promote Avero to let Capers, Dom Capers, run the defense. The organization, top to bottom, is a dumpster fire. Letting Tepper buy the team was the first big mistake. Bobby Hill as an owner. Now that's another thing I'm regretting. Tepper, that's another
Mm,
thing I'm really starting to regret. Um,
yeah, Tepper's 0 for 2 on head coaches so far.
Fan says, I'm sorry, Corey, but you're among the minority who's happy with the job that Scott has done.
I'm
And
fine with that. I am perfectly fine with being the minority on that. I've always had out of the box opinions on things.
Mr. Gemini agrees on Fit, but not Frank, though. Um, Phenom says this is Frank's first year. Scott has been here 3 4 years, three years, and has
But
stuck with
look at
every single
Frank's
signing.
history, though.
But remember what happened with Frank in Indy. Like
Yeah,
he got fired before midseason.
exactly. This dude hasn't had a win
Now,
since 22.
and the thing is, my whole thing is that yes, the whole label of him being offensive minded head coach, something we haven't had in forever. I can't even remember the last time we had that. So there was a lot of expectations. Like I said, I fell for it too, Vietnam. I fell for it too.
Yeah,
But when you look at what's been happening, it's got to point back to something, bro. It's
yeah,
got to point back to
yeah,
something. Look at what happened, how it got to this point.
right.
That's why there's resume.
Exactly.
You know, they look at the resume. And like I said, I get what you mean by the what have you done for me lately. I totally get it,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to
yeah.
this franchise. But at the same time,
That's
what
not what I'm basing my ideas on.
well not only that, but there's got to be some sort of incentive to bring somebody in. And 9 times out of 10, you look at what they've been able to do on the field. You look at their history. That's why the draft exists. I mean, what
Exactly.
type of players are we drafting based on those that have been successful, that have played well, that have put up the numbers, that have made an impact? That's who coaches
It,
and organizations are going from. Yeah, they may
what?
not have played for them at that point, but you got to have some incentive. You got to see something there in order
Yeah.
to have reasoning to bring them in. Now, some of
It,
them I agree would be shocking, may
yeah.
be unexpected. That's going to happen. But there's
Hmm.
always going to be some sort of reasoning and incentive to bringing someone in. Does that mean that it's always going to translate? No. Especially when, you know, folks struggle or when injuries happen. I mean, that's the only thing. Um, were you gonna say something, Corey?
Yeah, I was actually the
Yeah, go for
drafting.
it. Yeah, go for it.
Scott Fitter has always been manipulated with draft picks. He's always been a yes man, and he said yes to Ajaro's pick, trading up, for DJ Johnson. When does he sit in the field? You know, these the situations where he has been a yes man and brought these people in it has not been the successful way to go. Obviously, when it should have just been Scott's decision all along. Now, Scott agrees with you before making that decision and not doing it as a yes man. Fine, you know, then it's on Scott. It's 100% on Scott if it's a bad pick. But that's not what we're seeing here. If the picks are bad and he was manipulated by Matt Rule,
Hmm.
by Jaro, by Steve Smith on Mingo, then you can't call shenanigans on that. You can't call Scott Fitterer for that. Those are not his picks. Those are choices made for him.
And let's also keep in mind, going back to the whole thing with Steve Wilkes, one of those
Yeah,
Scott Fitterer seasons, we were 1 win away from being in the playoffs.
exactly.
So
The
that
things
that
that
is
Scott had to do to keep us alive during
th-
that Matt Rule era, you guys
yeah.
don't even understand.
So that is one thing to keep in mind. He
Oh,
was there when we were a win away from making the playoffs. So
yeah. He
there's
made
that.
the moves to put us in that position. You're welcome.
Um, let's see. Oh,
We got a lot of
Mr.
crap.
Gemini Mr. Gemini meant uh empty sets like an empty backfield. Empty backfield.
Ah,
Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Um Chef 85 says basically it's like this: the GM brings the groceries to the house and the coach has to use them properly. They are both to blame. Um
mm,
Vietnam he says he's more inclined to give Frank another year, but he wants Scott out of
nope,
there.
nope. Disagree
Uh Chef
respectfully.
Chef 85 says basic oh no, I just read that already. Oh, it's one or the other other. Some blame the GM and some blame the coaches. Just fix it. Problem is no one has the answer and it seems that no one in Charlotte wants to. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah, that's fair.
Jeffrey says, "Do you ever cross the bridge, Renalda Village, and wake maybe see a friendly turtle?" I'm not sure what
I
that.
have no idea.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
Nope.
Um, let's see. Vietnam says they may have came from successful teams, but the NFL is a "what have you done for me lately" league, which I understand that,
That is true.
but
That is true.
as I said before, there's got to be an incentive to bring somebody in the first place. So, fire them
The
both
main
then.
question is why are they not successful here
Yeah,
and they were successful there?
yeah. That's another thing
That's
we
the
got to
asking
ask
the right
ourselves.
question.
Yeah, that's another thing we got to ask ourselves as well. Fire them both then. Something has to change.
Nope.
Louis, oh man, I'm not gonna try to butcher your name, but I'll just say Louis. Welcome
Just
to the
say Louis.
stream.
That's what I did.
So you guys excited for Miami? We're the best offense. No. What? What?
I'm
What?
excited for the success of Miami right now and where you guys are going. And I'm not even a Miami fan, but
Shoot.
playing against you guys, no, thank you. No,
Shoot.
thank you. Nope. Nope.
Uh, Vietnam says it will suck for Bryce to have to learn another offense this offseason. Well,
He's not even learning this one.
I
What do you
mean,
mean he's learning another one?
that's just that's the risk he's gonna have to take. Is that's hey, that's a risk he's gonna have to take.
There's no offense here.
Um, let's see. Vietnam. Oh, Chef 85 says you build through the draft, not free agency. Ultimately, the owner needs to own the mess. Will he? Doubtful. This team will not win a game. Uh, oh my goodness. Getting so tired of these dang on spammers. Like seriously. Let's
Well,
see.
ideally, you would build through both.
Yeah,
Collectively. There's a balance for each team. Depending on your needs, but you build through both, and depending on how much money you have
right.
to spend.
I agree. Let's see. Selling to Tepper killed this franchise. I said that when it was allowed to happen.
I
That's
mean,
from
the argument can be made.
yeah.
You know,
No, that's definitely fair.
he's a hedge
Definitely.
fund manager. If you don't understand about anything about football, why would you want to own a football franchise if you're a hedge fund manager? Makes
Oh,
no sense.
oh man.
Do
Chef
your
8
homework.
Chef 85 says he could see us going 0 and 18 this year with no first round pick to show for it, and it's Scott's fault. It's all Scott's fault. Scott
It's
handles
not Scott's fault, man. I'm telling you, it's not.
he says Scott handles all of the off-season stuff and Frank handles to training and games. So far neither has been successful, but Scott has been here longer and therefore needs to be held accountable. Only 3 years, but yeah, he has been
Just
here
because he's
technically
been here
longer.
longer. Okay,
Um
you're basing your argument on the fact that Scott's been here longer. That's it. That's your only argument basis here. Come on, man.
let's see.
No.
Troy
Hopefully
Pride
Zavala will be okay.
Troy Pride
Yeah.
Ju- Troy Pride Jr., Keith Taylor, Brandon Smith, Amari Barno, DJ Johnson, TMJ, Shy Smith. Shall I continue?
Okay,
Uh,
so those are the ones you're claiming are the bad picks, right? Okay, I'll give you Troy. I'll give you Keith. Brandon Smith was actually really solid as a run stopper. He was one of the more solid run stoppers out there, actually. Barno, we actually made some use out of this year. DJ Johnson has never seen the field, so how do you know? He's a rookie. TMJ, yeah, he's not great. Shy Smith, yeah, I agree with that one. I mean, it hasn't been great drafting, but I mean, it's been positional needs. You know, these a lot of these guys were not pickups that I endorsed. During the times that we were doing drafts. I wanted somebody else that was better at that position.
mm-hmm.
But still, the fact that we picked up somebody in those positions, I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a need at wide receiver, we had a need at corner, we had a need at defensive tackle or linebacker. And we went for those picks. You know, are those during the time of Matt Rule? Matt Rule was manipulating him into what he wanted Scott to pick, and I can tell that you don't agree with that assessment, but that's what actually happened. If you watch the Panthers huddles and stuff like that, that's exactly what happened. Behind closed doors.
Mm.
You can tell by the reactions of the coaching and everything else. But yeah,
See.
those were picks that I liked, but they were just not the right ones that I endorse.
Let's see. Hopefully Zavala will be okay from Mr. Gemini.
Yeah.
Hope so too.
Any word on that injury, by the way?
They said it was a neck injury,
Oof.
so they're doing some
Ouch.
tests and whatnot. So they'll
I was
probably,
actually answering some comments, so I didn't actually see the play.
yeah, but yeah, neck injury. Jeffrey says, hey guys, I've been a fan since '95. I ride or die Panthers. Giving up DJ Moore next year, number one, killed it for me for rookie, 5'10", 180-pound quarterback. He's not 180 pounds. He's 205 pounds.
Yeah.
Um, Chef 85 says, again, Tepper hiring yes men. He did it with Rule, Fit, and Fit. Smart businessmen don't hire yes men. If Fit cannot make a decision and stand on it, he should not be the GM. That is a fair point. If you can't,
Fair argument. And what I'm saying is he was manipulated. He's not necessarily a yes man. He was just manipulated into those picks.
um, was there a TMJ sighting today? We need to cut also
Nope.
unsolved mysteries. Key background music. Nah, there wasn't. Nah, I give you that, Fayette. Nah, there wasn't. There wasn't.
Great comment. That was great.
Uh, Mr. Gemini says the defense wasn't there today. That was
Yeah.
definitely true. That was a
What
huge
in the world
letdown.
happened to Sam Franklin Jr.? Can we talk about Sam Franklin today? Because, like, what? This dude is like Jekyll and Hyde right now. I don't know what to expect from Sam Franklin anymore. One game he's getting 2 picks, and then the next one he's just like horrendous in coverage. Like, what? And he's not even trying. He's jogging. Like, what? Please tell me what's going on with Sam Franklin, because oh boy. And then CJ, of course they're going to target CJ. Of course they're going to target a struggling Jeremy Chin right now. So come
Yeah,
on.
that is true. Louis says I said this in the other stream. I think a superstar like Tua, Rogers, or Jackson. Um, that they're a piece. There would be a piece, but we need a lot more than that. Uh, Chef 85 says Tepper's ruined this franchise. I've been watching this team since '95, and this is about as low as 115 years. Oh yeah, I remember that season. So Corey is what? So Corey is what is your fix after you fire Frank? Winning teams don't spend to build and make splashes in free agency. Oh yeah, your thoughts on that? Uh,
We use what we have. First of all, we create a game plan designed to get the best use out of the players that we have and maximize their potential. Therefore, putting points on the board. And the next thing I would do is work on the offensive line with Taylor and Icky and say, okay, how is your footwork? How is your technique? How is all of this stuff? We need to fix this. Let's work on the execution of that. And a good example of that, Taylor had a horrible game today. There was one particular play where he was dealing with Aiden Hutchinson, and of course, the defense coordinator is going to put Aiden Hutchinson on Taylor because he's had a horrible year. But uh, Taylor got backed up right next to Bryce Young before he finally set his feet to deal with Aiden Hutchinson. He was right next to him within sniffing distance. I mean, that's got to get fixed. That stuff like that's got to get fixed. The discipline of the line with the penalties, that's got to get fixed too. Tackling is the next thing. I want better tackling.
mm-hmm.
And I want a stronger bull rush from this defensive line. We can only do so much as far as what we have right now, as far as healthy players. So we'll just do what we can with what we have until these guys come back. But I think if we can get points on the board, it's going to take pressure off the defense. The defense will get rested. They'll be able to do their job better, and then we'll evaluate the team from there and see what we're looking at.
Mm.
What other weaknesses we have? What things can be fixed in house? What things can be fixed out of house that we have to spend money on? What are we looking at after that point?
Ah,
But the things we fix in house, we have to fix in house before we can start looking out of house.
let's see. Vietnam says Scott has shown to not be able to build a roster through free agency or draft picks. We need a real GM like Gettleman. Now, I will say this David Gettleman, I mean, he did his thing, but let's also remember near the end, he resorted to bargain bin shopping.
A lot of people were criticizing Gettleman. A lot of people hated Gettleman, and it's the same. It, honestly, it's a lot of the same stuff. What's up, Mr. Carolina? Welcome
Mr.
on in, man.
Carolina has made it on. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? This fight, y'all hear me cut out every blue moon. I'm still at this little party for my son, but
No problem.
No
man,
problem, buddy.
All right, Mr. Carolina, let her rip. How you feeling?
after a few drinks, because I was literally not joking. I was not joking. I said if they started out bad, I was going to have a few. I've had at least 4 shots of Hennessy. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Oof.
Um,
This team makes us drink, bro.
Uh,
it's and then I was talking to a guy while I was at the bar, and he was like, "Man, it's something that I hear a lot of people say. Well, you got to blame the line. It's the easy de facto thing to blame the offensive line. Yes, where there's some hits that you're like, yee,
mhm.
cool, but we seen in the first half they had 21 points off of turnovers.
Yep,
21
Yep.
points off of turnovers. That's not on the offensive line, bro. That's on the quarterback and the running back that fumbled the ball.
Mr. Miles.
Let's come on, man.
I mean, that is true.
Yeah.
But
Let's
I mean, what do you expect when you run him into a stacked box of like 7 people that shifted over to the left to meet him when the play is designed to go to the left? The defense is trained to go after the ball.
But I will give Aiden Hutchinson credit. He snatched that one. Like that was pretty
Yeah.
impressive. He snatched
he
that.
Yeah.
did, and at the same time, and I get it. I'm not saying he's not gonna make rookie mistakes. So that was a rookie. If you look at the pass, that was a hell of a pass, a hell of a play by the defensive end. I give him that. But if you look at the play, it's like he just whipped his head to the right and just threw it. And it's like, I hope the defensive end is not athletic enough to catch this ball.
Hmm.
At that point, you should have thrown the damn thing into the ground.
Yeah.
Throw the
Yep.
ball into the ground.
True.
Let's play another play. The
Yep.
other interception, you clearly see Bryce Young stare down the left hand side.
Yep. He did.
He's
Yep.
clearly
Mm-hmm.
staring. As much as we say he processes, his head, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, his head never turned from the left. So he's looking, looking, looking. He was like, okay, I'll just throw it and hope he has stone hands, which he didn't.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
So the defense, the defense, oh God. We put our run defense is still atrocious.
Yep.
I'm just I'm just gonna
Yep.
say that. Um, we put our defense with those turnovers in short field positions to try to hurry up and defend at their quick turnaround. So as much as I love Brian Burns and don't want to see him go, and I know I said last week don't trade him, I'm still saying don't trade him. But my guy, you have to show up for more than just one sack.
Facts.
Facts.
You
Mm-hmm.
have to show up
He
because
never got off his blocks.
you want superstar defensive end money, but you're not giving a superstar defensive end play.
Which is exactly why he's going to get traded for
Like
a wide
you can't.
receiver.
Which, if you look at it, and I get it, he's Mr. Reliable.
Yep.
Um, Adam Thielen is clearly the number one on this team. That's very
Yeah.
adamant.
Yep.
That's
Bryce
Bryce's
Young,
favorite target.
he trusts him the most out of everybody, which is all well, fine and dandy. You're like, I have no problem with that, but your number one, with all due respect, should not be somebody in their mid-30s. That should not be your number one receiver. It should have been. I don't know what DJ Chark was supposed. I don't know if DJ Chark was supposed to be the number one
I
when he
I
came
I
over.
thought he would give a good argument to be number one, but
No,
Mm,
and then Mingo comes in and has. No, I think we had what, a couple catches at
Mingo
best,
Mingo today had five
couple
for
catches, and
38.
then Terrace Marshall, I guess, just disappeared off the depth chart again,
Yep.
uh, for whatever
yep.
reason. It's like we have no consistency. It's just like they just throw any wide receiver out there. So if you're going to give me a starting wide receiving core, please make sure that the starting wide receiver core is productive. They stand out above the guys they're starting over.
Hmm.
The only one that stands out is Adam Thielen. That's it. Only one I can say, if you throw him the ball, he's not going to drop. The only one that I can say can actually get separation in his age to still do his thing. That's what I said. Minnesota gave up on him. I'm glad to have him, but he's the only one that I can say besides. He's the only one I can say out there that I can trust. I can throw the ball to him and say, you know what? I know he's going to do his damnedest to get open. He's going to catch it with his hands, and he's going to get what he can. Mingo and Chark, I'm just like, you're there, but I think you're just starting because they brought you in the off season, and it's Frank Wright just trying to save face. That's just my 2 cents on it. They have not shown me anything to like, okay, this is the reason you guys are starting. They're not showing that to me. But you're just throwing them out there, and then we'll say we don't have nobody else to throw out there. How about you trot somebody else out there? The offensive line, as banged up as they were, you're playing against one of the better defensive fronts in Detroit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Detroit is not. It's not like Detroit is a slouch. They have a monster at defensive end in Hutchinson. Their
Mm-hmm.
other three guys are just like Brian Burns. If you want to see how a superstar defensive end produces, watch the guy on the other side of the field. He's going to get paid here in a little bit because he's actually making his team better all around. We're kind of just. I get you love the homegrown stuff, but at this point, and I called it, Jay, I called it, fam. I said, we're going to start this, we're going to go to this by 0-6. Newsflash, y'all, we're not beating Miami.
Oh, we're definitely not beating
We're not
Miami.
beating
No,
Miami. Did you
definitely
see what they
not.
just did? Did y'all see what they just did?
Oh, they whipped up on those Giants. 7
Oh, yeah.
sacks.
Tyreek Hill is going to have a field day. A field day.
Oh, he had 181 yards receiving. Ooh,
Ooh.
Jesus.
He's
Ouch.
going to have at least 200 plus on us. Watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Watch.
Ooh.
But you know what I did like? You know what
They're
I
going to
did like?
target CJ Henderson, too.
And don't forget, they still got Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson Jr. Oh, hometown guy that my older brother coached, Braxton Berrios, is on
Mhm.
the Miami Dolphins. He coached him Little League.
Former Jet.
Yep. Former Jet
We're
and
gonna
former Patriot.
We're going to get waxed, dude. We're going to get waxed. And it's just, I mean, I said, the one thing I did like was, again, the rookie, the number 29, the cornerback that got cooked on one route. I did love the leadership that Von Bell showed when he got in his face and held him accountable.
Oh yeah, talking
Right.
about
Mhm.
Deshaun Jameson. Yeah.
Get in his
Yep.
face, dude. Like, yo, we're sick of this, just the boneheaded plays. If we call a coverage, be where you're supposed to be and help us out, because you left us hanging out to dry. Because you can clearly see from a cornerback's perspective, that was a blown coverage. You're
Yep.
supposed to slide back with your guy. You're not where you're supposed to be. So I'm going to get in your face and let you know, look, bro, I know whatever you're rookie, whatever it is, I need you to mentally be prepared to come out here and produce. He wasn't. This team just looks like, and we talked about this the other day. If you're going to lose, please make it entertaining. I want to be entertained while you guys are sucking.
Yep.
It's not even entertaining. And then I read somebody was like, well, at least they're showing signs of growth. Let me explain something.
Mm-hmm.
If a team is playing zone coverage because they know they're whooping your ass, that's not sign of growth.
Right.
They just said, we're going to take our foot off the gas and say, you know what, we're tired of beating your ass today. So, y'all, come on in. That's not growth. They're still beating you down. They just feel sorry for you. So they're going to give you a few points so you guys can fly home, even with your tail tucked between your legs. We're still flying home with an L. Detroit let
Mhm.
off the gas. Anybody who doesn't see that is clearly blind. They let off the gas and was like, look, y'all look pathetic
Yeah.
as hell.
That's a good
Let,
point.
let him in the end zone. So all this, he's showing growth. We're doing this. No, we didn't. They just got tired of whooping our ass up and down the field. So they was like, let these fools score. Because you know what? They know what we know. Guess what that is, folks? We don't have a first round pick because it's going to Chicago.
Yep.
Congratulations, Fitterer. You played yourself. You idiot. Jesus Christ. Now we got to watch bad football. And then it's like, oh, shit. We don't have a first round pick.
Oof.
So we're losing for what?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah. I feel you. I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah.
I need
Um
another drink.
let me get caught up in the chat. Let's
Oh my
see.
God.
Yeah, let's go.
Let me see.
Good grief.
Oh, let me go back. Uh-oh. They still on you, Corey. They're still on you.
Come on, Fade. No, really, man?
Jeffrey says, "Hey, you cool, but your friend tweaking don't know ish about football." Uh
Uh-oh, what'd he do? What'd he do?
Fandom says, "Corey, you just wanted all Clemson players." I mean,
What in the world?
I
Now
mean,
you're
would
just
that be
trying to
bad?
troll,
I
Fade.
mean, would that be bad?
Now you're
There's
just
some
trying
good
to troll.
Clemson players.
Don't put words in my mouth, bro.
You mean you wouldn't want to have Trevor Lawrence?
Oh
One of the
Shoot.
God,
Clemson
Jesus.
players, but I didn't want all Clemson players. Don't put words in
Uh
my mouth, Vietnam.
uh
Don't do that.
Jeffrey says, I'm mad I still ride or died Panther family. Always.
Always.
Louis says, you guys see my Dolphins next week. We may put up 60. I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't bet against it. Wouldn't
Yeah.
bet against
Vietnam says Taylor has been in decline the last couple of years. There's nothing we can fix in house. We are a dumpster fire. We need to throw it all away.
Taylor was actually decent last year. What are you talking about? Now he's having a bad year.
Wait, is it? Oh,
and
is he
people are
talking?
still trying to figure out what's going on with him.
Wait, which Taylor are we talking about?
Moten.
Taylor Moton.
Taylor Moton.
Yeah. He had a
Okay.
trash day today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
There's a
again,
lot we could fix in house, actually.
you're going against one of the better front fours in football. Again, let's keep that in perspective, y'all.
Very
Detroit is
true.
Yeah.
not some bottom of the tier defense. They're one of the
Of course,
best
they're going to
in the
match
league.
him up with
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson.
There's a
Who's going to make
reason.
him look bad?
There's a reason
Yeah.
why Detroit's 4-1 right now.
Yep.
I'm about to say that it's not like we played an 0-4 team like we are. We played a team that actually does the right thing and builds from the inside out, and that's what they did. So they have the defense to smash against our depleted offensive line, and they have the offensive line because they spent a first round pick on a left tackle that they moved inside. Hint, hint. Take a hint, Carolina. He was a left tackle that they moved to the other side. He's actually producing better where he is now. Sorry, wife.
Oh no, you good. You good.
We played that beat us.
Take your time. Take your time. Um,
They
let's
shouldn't even
see.
been calling a screen pass to Ian Thomas to begin with. Even if he did catch it, he wasn't going anywhere. Facts.
Facts. Chef 85 makes a good argument. Gettleman did nothing outside of drafting Star Latulele and lucking into getting KK short. Other than that, it was a disaster. To a degree. To a degree.
Mm,
It's arguable though.
I'm not gonna get into that.
All he does about Burns specifically, one sack typically in the first half and a Spider-Man act pose, and that's it. Burns act reminds me of the Ultimate Warrior. Run to the ring, clothesline press, slam, match over.
Yep, facts.
That's a good breakdown, Chef 85. That's a good breakdown.
I like that.
Um, let's see. Mr. Gemini says they. Oh yeah, you read his quotes actually.
Mm-hmm.
Chef 85 says Burns should be moved for draft capital, but knowing us, we will even screw this up. Should have moved him to the Rams when we had the chance. Fit. Cannot resign him and will not get top dollar for him. We cannot even get that right. Oof. Oof. Uh, the Rumbler, welcome to the stream. Says, would you guys like to see Lou
Okay.
Sassol on the defense next year from Michigan State? Does that name ring a bell to y'all?
I have no idea who that is.
I'm
I
not
ain't gonna lie
familiar
to you.
with him either.
No idea who that is.
Maybe somebody
I
that
haven't gotten a chance to look at the new scouts.
I'll take anybody
players that
that'll
are
help with
coming
the run
up.
game. Anybody
Yeah.
helps with the run game, I'll take you.
Yeah.
Right, agreed.
Can't blame that. Chef 85 says, still want to defend the Henderson trade by fit? Anyone? Anyone? I didn't think so. Ooh, he's got an argument there.
You do have a good argument on that one. That was a bad trade. But we did need corners at the time, so we had to get some help from somewhere.
We got some help. You got it, but
Some
y'all have
help,
to.
but it's
You could have
debatable
got
on the
some.
word some.
You could have went somewhere differently, but we have to look at it in this retrospect as well. CJ Henderson right now is asked to be a number one corner, and he's not.
Facts.
Yep.
He's asked to be the corner, and that's not him.
Frank was hyping him up to the moon, and this dude hasn't done anything in pass coverage at all.
CJ Henderson at best should be your nickel corner, your backup to the backup corner.
He
At
can do
best.
some run
Yeah.
stopping, but that's about all
That's
you
it.
should be asking of him.
He got a
Maybe
sack.
some blitzing.
He got a sack.
Yeah, a couple
But-
blitz packages if you can open him up for a surprise sack.
Yeah.
That's
But again, I'm going to say it like I said with Matt Rule, and say y'all call me if I'm wrong. This looks like a team, and people will say it won't be. This looks like a team that is not playing with intensity for their head coach. There is no sense of
Facts.
intensity from this team. There is no sense of
None.
no leadership. And it starts
None.
from the GM to the it starts from the owner to the GM to the head coach. And you see the lack of leadership, you see the lack of continuity with this team, and it starts from the top. These players do not believe, and again, I don't care, fans, y'all like me, and I'm gonna beat this drum until Jesus come back.
Mm-hmm.
The players saw when David Tepper said, I don't care who you want to coach my team. I'm going to run it how I want to run it. And you see the production from the GM to the head coach to the field. So the players are saying, okay, it's F us. Cool. Watch what we produce on this field because we don't believe in you. We don't believe in your GM. We don't believe in your head coach. And it's showing on the field because we are ill prepared. And this goes back to the Matt Rule days. We are ill prepared and we do not make adjustments when we get punched in the mouth. We don't make adjustments. And that's not Carolina football. That's just not how we get down. And again, to this point as well, why does your backup running back look better than the guy you paid all that money to come in here to play? Why is Schuba Hubbard looking better running the ball, catching the ball than Miles Sanders did? And I was sitting next to an Eagles fan at the bar
Oof.
who said the exact same thing. He said, there's a reason we got rid of him. He said, you're welcome. And I couldn't even say nothing. I just had to laugh.
Oh, he
But,
wasn't even
dude,
feeling Miles. Dang.
he didn't like me. He was just like,
Dang.
y'all. He said, y'all can have him.
Hmm.
I said, oh, snap.
Even though he had his best season with him, dang. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
He was saying with a lot of nights again, I got a coworker that's an Eagles fan. My cousin's an Eagles fan. They was like, Miles Sanders was a product of our system. Flat out. Product of our
Really?
system.
Hmm.
Again, and we talked about this the other day, though, Jay. We
Uh-huh.
had better stats with Foreman and Chuba back there.
Right. We
Running
did.
the ball, we had better stats. So you didn't need to go get a Miles Sanders. You could use that money on a better offensive line. If that's the case, you could use that money on another defensive end besides 30-something-year-old Justin Houston, who how many sacks does he have through 5 games? You could have used that on another corner because we were running out of those. Y'all pulling guys off of the street to play corner. You didn't invest well with this team. And it's not like we didn't have the cap room to do it. You didn't invest. We're seeing the ramifications of you not using the offseason smartly to retool because we didn't need to rebuild. We just needed to retool. And we didn't do that in a way that was productive to the players that were already here, given everything they had to this team. Now, yes, we've had some injuries. And prayers out to Chandler Zavala. So I hope he's okay because I know that's a scary injury. Hope you're okay. But we did not go into the off season like we should have to just retool because our owner feels like he knows more about football and he really doesn't.
Hold on. Quick note. I got to say this right quick. Jeffrey, you need to chill. Talking to Hey Nerd Show. Bryce ain't over 175 pounds. The dude is 204. You need to
Go look it
chill.
up.
You need to chill. This is your one warning. You need to chill.
Relax.
I don't mind you debating, but don't be disrespectful. All right, continue.
No, it's like we didn't do the off season properly. Like I said, it shows on the field. We brought in again. He even commented, like I said, you have people in the bar. And that's the thing I love about going to a bar because you get different perspectives. Yeah, some people are drunk. I'm not drunk, y'all, so relax. I know I'm in the car. I just had a few.
No, you
But
good. You good.
it was like you listen to people's perspective, and then again, there's Colts fans in there. You know, it was like, yo, why would y'all hire the guy? We fired him for a reason. I was like, man. And it's funny because the guy comes up to me, he's like, yo, bro, you okay? I'm like, man. I said, yo, the life of a Panthers fan, like, it's not fun. You're watching the game, you're no longer excited. The defense that I was excited for, I'm not like, why am I still watching this? I wanted to get up from the bar, but I was still eating my food. So I couldn't leave just yet.
Hmm.
We don't look We look worse than the 1-win team with Jimmy Clausen, and
Oof.
that team was bad. That
Yeah.
team was horrible, and that's what I'm saying. We look like a team that is ready for the off season already. And it's only 5 games into the season, which is
Mm.
sad because again, we were 1 game away from being in the playoffs last year. Now we look like it's a total dumpster fire this year. How do you go from almost winning the division to not even competing in the division?
Seriously.
That's
Mm.
leadership. That's leadership. I gotta let that sink in. 1 game away from winning to not even competing. We look bad. Atlanta won today. I believe New Orleans won today. Only team that lost today was who lost today? Tampa. No, Tampa won too.
Oh, so Atlanta
Oh
did beat
my
Houston?
gosh.
Oh,
Atlanta
Atlanta
came back
did
and beat
beat
Houston.
Houston.
Really?
Atlanta came back.
Oh, 21,
Everybody won.
21-19. Yep, sure did.
Yep.
Wow.
Everybody won
Dang.
today. Everybody won except for us. That's why I said
Oh.
make it make sense, gentlemen. 1 game away from winning. We're not. We have no hope of doing anything this season. And to put the icing on the cake, we have no first round pick. And even if we do get one, we have handed Chicago the number 1 and number 2 picks in this draft.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just it's bad management from the top, dude. And y'all know the saying. Y'all know the saying. Blank rolls downhill.
Yeah.
It's rolling downhill. And we
Um.
got we got to spend our Sundays watching it.
Let's see. Let's get caught up again. Let's see. Vietnam says Taylor Moton has been in decline. Check the numbers. Fire Scott. Hashtag Fire Scott twice.
Please.
Um, Jeffrey says facts. Are all okay. You beat your best players are on other teams. Yeah. I mean, CMAC example. Many others.
Hmm.
Uh,
Exactly.
Louis
And what are
says,
they doing after they left that team? That's
Producing.
coaching.
yeah, and utilizing them to their strengths.
That's
Yep.
Louis says Tua coming next week. He may win MVP. Yeah, he might be in the discussion. Might be in the discussion.
Possibly.
Vietnam says I think we should focus this offseason entirely to fixing this offense. Every signing and draft pick needs to be offensive. Maybe if we swing enough times, we will hit a homer. Oh, so a draft on all offense. Interesting.
that
Interesting.
doesn't help the run. That doesn't help the run defense.
Nope.
Uh, Jeffrey says good teams build through the draft with a good GM, and Scott's not it.
No.
Vietnam says save fixing the defense for the year after next. Interesting. Um, Chef says injuries forced our hand with Henderson. More excuses and lack of depth was a terrible trade that Fit has to own now. Rule is gone now. Cannot use that excuse anymore. He is gone. He is gone.
Hmm.
Vietnam says I agree. Uh, Jeffrey, 100%. A lot of people and YouTubers are blind to this. Um, let's see. Jeffrey, there are two sources that prove you wrong on ESPN and even on Wikipedia. Stop. Stop.
Are we talking about the Bryce Young weight thing again?
Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah.
why it freaking
It
matters.
doesn't even matter.
Like seriously. Now it's like you're coming off like you're trolling. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. Remember one thing, as painful as it is, the boss is the boss. That is life. I don't like Tepper either. Never have. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Um,
Hmm.
Phanom says Chuba looks better because he's better. Sanders is washed up. Oof. Ouch.
Hmm.
Ouch.
Okay, well that's going straight for the jugular.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Okay.
Um, Mr. Gemini said, like I said, product of their system. Chef 85 says, want to make a trade, reacquire Foreman. Again, lackluster BS. Justin Houston, LMAO.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I no disrespect to dude, but you coming over here and done nothing, literally nothing.
Yep.
So why do they bring you here? Oh, the pass rush on the other side. You're not providing one, good buddy. No pass rush. At least when we had what's my dirty's name that went to Philly? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The defensive end that we left to go to Philly. We got him from
Hassan
Arizona.
Reddick. Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick. At
Reddick.
least
Yeah.
when Reddick was here, when Burns wasn't getting his, Reddick was getting his. Now if Burns ain't getting his, ain't nobody getting theirs. Shout out to my boy Derek Brown. You still look like you're productive, Derek Brown.
Yeah,
You turned me.
he's
Yeah.
trying.
He's doing the best he can.
Shy Tuttle, you look legit. You look legit in the middle, but this also goes back to linebacking. Our linebackers, Luvu is my guy, but if you have a middle linebacker, and the other guy is a nice story, but our linebackers are not hitting the gaps like they're supposed to, which is causing some of these runs to go further than they're supposed to go. If you know your defensive end's getting, if your defensive tackle, whatever's getting double teamed, it's a linebacker's job to fill that gap that the defensive tackle just vacated. Because you know there's only a few gaps that they can go to. And this is coming from somebody who used to play middle linebacker. If my defensive tackle is being pushed from the B gap all the way into the A gap, the A gap is already filled. That means I have to look at B and C gap. Okay, my defensive end should have the C gap outside containment. So that means, you know what? Let me look at this B gap here real quick. We're not having gap control when it comes to football. The run game it's like the floodgates of heaven open up and they're saying, please take off and go. We're going to be in the wrong gap. Y'all going to at least get 3 or 4 yards, at least 3 or 4 yards to carry. At minimum. We look atrocious in the run game. And before we even talk about fixing anything on offense, if you don't fix that offensive line, which shouldn't have been that bad coming in, Corbett, you can't come back quick enough. You need, as a defense, to fix your run game, which hasn't been fixed in the past couple years. Fix your defensive run game, for God's sake. Because you know what that does?
Yeah.
It makes your secondary look a hell of a lot better when you fix your front four.
Yep.
Yes, because somebody to play corner, I can't cover that receiver for more than a few seconds. There's a reason. As a corner, anybody that's played football, you play the cornerback position, we have a clock. We go 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Okay, y'all should be there by now. If it goes 4 5 as a corner, I'm like, my eyes are getting big. I'm looking around like, yo, y'all have not gotten to him yet. So now I have to go find the receiver. So now he's breaking off. Now I got to break off. Now I'm looking around. Now we have chaos. We have sandlot football. We're not getting pressure, so it's making our cornerbacks look bad. Now, some routes you can't help.
Right.
But if we're not getting any type of real pressure like the other teams are getting, I'm not Brian Burns. As much as you my dog, I rock with you. I'm not paying you superstar money. You're going to have to either franchise it, bro, or you're going to have to take a discount. Because if you're my elite pass rush and defensive end, I need some more pressure. I need you to get there a lot more than you are doing. I'm just saying, I'm not paying you that $28 million a year because you're not putting $28 million a year of product on the field. You're not doing that.
Yeah, that's a good breakdown. That's a really good breakdown.
I completely agree.
Vietnam says, if the system was to blame, then Chuba wouldn't be out playing Miles. Miles is done after this season. Hashtag fire Scott. But wait a minute. Hold on, Vietnam. Just remind me. But didn't it take you a long while before you were sold on Chuba at first? Didn't it take a while? You weren't sold on Chuba at first. Am I right? Just remind me. Just remind me.
You said the same thing on my stream too.
Chef 85 said you spent your money on splashy moves, and this is what you get. Splashy moves equal failure. I already spoke on this. You did. Mr. Carolina, main question for you from Vietnam and Mr. Gemini.
Mm,
Opinions on Scott Fitterer. Would you fire
Fire,
Scott?
fire his ass today.
Oh, dang. Easy
Mm.
answer for him. Um,
You, you,
oh,
you, you put us. Not to cut you, Jay. My bad.
oh no, you good,
Understand?
you good.
You put us behind the eight ball, cuz. You've put us behind the eight ball. You've made stupid trades dating back to your Matt Rule days. So now, guess what? You can't blame Matt Rule anymore because you okayed and put the stamp of approval on these trades as well because you're the GM. You made arguably the stupidest trade in Panther history. No, what? That could have been the. No, what? Sam
Mm,
Darnold one was stupid. The Sam Darnold one was stupid, but we still had a first round pick. The Baker Mayfield one was stupid, but we still had a first round pick. You traded our first round pick, and we still suck. And again, to anybody that wants to debate me on this, it's a rookie quarterback with a first year head coach. Did anybody see the way CJ Stroud is still playing in Houston against that Atlanta team that made us look real stupid not that long ago?
yeah, and still hasn't thrown a pick.
So don't give me that rookie crap, dude.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't want to hear it.
yeah
He's in a system that is producing because his guess what? His first year his first year head coach. This is that brother's D'Amico Ryan's first head coaching gig.
yep. This is true.
First, he said, "You know what, CJ? This is what you do well. So let me put you in a position to succeed." And again, Houston offensive line sucked last year, the year before that, the preseason. They looked god awful. Guess who's looking like a hell of a quarterback in his first few games in the NFL? CJ Stroud. So don't give me this first year head coach, rookie quarterback crap. I'm not buying that, dude. I'm not buying that. If you know you had a system coming into play, your job as a head coach and offensive coordinators, again, is to put your players in a position to be successful. Frank Wright, again, for the fifth game in a row, has not, excuse me, you want to take and go back, eighth game in a row, has not put his team in a position to be successful. He just hasn't. He throws out lineups out there that don't make sense. We don't have a go-to pound and ground running back. Our staple as the Panthers organization has always been keep pounding. We are not doing that. You're trying to bring this stupid offense that didn't work in Indy. You had one good year again. Jay and you and I talked about this. He had one
Hmm.
good year in Philly with a team that was already stacked to win a Super Bowl. So what have you really done as a coach? Nothing. You had a team that was already stacked from top to bottom to win. All you had to do was not F it up. Congratulations, you didn't mess it up. You moron.
So, um, there's a couple more comments we got to get through. Then I want Corey to give his rebuttal because I know you have a rebuttal, Corey, if you choose to do so. Um, we all bought into a narrative. Reich returns to be the coach of the franchise. He was the first quarterback ever, youngest, smart, etc. Says and does all the things the right way. Owner cannot get out of. Louis says sad when Atlanta is better. The Bears fans are hyped.
Hmm.
Um, Chef 85 says, without leadership, you have nothing. A ship without a captain goes nowhere. Attitude
Nope.
reflects leadership across the board. Hey, I remember hearing that and Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Mm.
Um, Draft only offense. Remember when Gettleman took Bradbury, Wardley, Zach Sanchez, simply going to fix one side of the ball and one draft doesn't work. He's got a fair point.
Facts.
Yep.
Um, Vietnam says, but people are saying that just because you put up stats last year, that directly translates to success with a new team. It just doesn't work that way. The only thing I'll say with that is going back to my original point. Are you going to pick up somebody that's been successful that has put up the stats, or are you going to pick up somebody that's never played a snap or is like bottom of the tier. I mean,
And you've got to put him in the best positions to make those plays too.
yeah. So
You
and
can't just pick up a bunch of Pro Bowlers and say, "Oh, hey, win a Super Bowl."
and
That
No.
doesn't work that way either.
and the draft is another example. Like folks are going to draft players that put up, the stats that have shown the leadership and stuff like that. I mean, that's what sticks out. I mean, what else are they going to go by? You know, Vietnam.
Mm,
What else are they going to go by
right,
when picking players?
right.
Um, let's see. Chef, do you have any fixing the defense first, fix the offense first. That's Vietnam's suggestion. And Vietnam admits he was not originally sold on Chuba Hubbard. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But he has shown up, which is true. Chef says Burns wanting 28 million a year and then disappears and cannot be a total stud star defensive player. Adios, bro. We need picks back. Call the Bills. Um, I love Mr. Carolina. So like-minded. Keep it up, sir. Sean Gilbert trade is still the worst in Panthers history. Ooh, I remember Sean Gilbert. Um, so Vietnam's called you out, Corey. Yeah, Mr. Carolina. Corey fire Scott. All right, you have the floor, Corey. What's your rebuttal?
Again, Scott has been manipulated into these picks. This the entire time of Matt Rule, he was manipulated into what Matt Rule wanted him to pick. Half of those picks were Matt Rule's picks, at least. And then you talk DJ Johnson, where we traded up for him. That's an Ajaro pick.
Yeah, that one's still kind of
Mingo,
iffy.
again, Steve Smith's pick. See, he's being manipulated, guys.
And also, are the scouts doing their job?
That's another question.
That
Um,
might be have to be part of the question, perhaps. Are the scouts doing their part?
a lot of the focus was on finding hybrid players, and you know, oh, you can play two different positions, three different positions. Okay, how does that help us if it don't plug in correctly with the system that you're trying to run? We didn't even know what system we were trying to run once Scott finally got control of this thing, because Ajaro was fresh and new. You know, Thomas Brown's fresh and new. We you know, and then you got Frank, who's now calling the plays. That's a fresh new system too. Like, how are you going to put these guys in the proper positions once you get them?
Hmm.
If you don't look at the right players for your system, you're not going to do anything. So we drafted positionally, and that's a big part of what Scott did was he drafted positionally. Um, but it's up to the coach to put those players into the proper positions to do something. I think we had solid talent, out of free agency and out of the draft, but what have they done execution wise? Have you put them into the proper places? Do you maximize their potential? No, you haven't. So that's on Frank.
Hmm.
So I mean, we could get like an entire roster full of Pro Bowlers, and if you don't put them in the right positions to win, they're not going to do anything. It's just going to be a waste of money and time and draft picks. So again, Frank is the problem at the moment, as far as why we are not producing.
Hmm.
If we don't produce after you fire Frank, then yes, throw the blame on Scott. But right now,
Well,
give these players a playbook to use. Because right now, you've got an offensive coordinator that came from the Rams that just won a Super Bowl.
mm-hmm.
Okay. The guy's proven. And you're not going to even let him call any plays at all? None at all? None? For Bryce Young? Not even open up the playbook? It's ridiculous. But you're going to trust Andy Dalton. Okay, yeah, he threw up 300 yards. but he would throw up 250 or something like that against an average level defense. That was a 29th ranked defense that he played against.
Mm,
You
fair
throw
point.
Bryce in there, with a proper playbook, he would throw about the same. That's what everybody else is throwing around the league right now against average level defenses. Say ranked 15, somewhere around that area.
Mm.
So, in my mind, we started opening up the playbook in the fourth quarter. Look what happened. We got points on the board. Hey, oh, but Bryce can't throw deep passes. Wrong.
Yeah, today was definitely
Come on, man.
Bryce's best game. Definitely his best game today.
He has
Um,
that potential.
yeah, I believe it. They just have to uh,
Let the dog
execute.
out of the chain, man.
Yeah.
Let him loose.
Let's see. So both Lock Poppy and Mr. Gemini agree on Mr. Carolina. Um,
Hmm.
Chef 85 says, "Look at my please disease." I see what you did there. Um, do you think Miles Sanders is healthy? Certainly doesn't look like it at all. I had high hopes for him. I mean, maybe, but I mean, if Miles was supposed to be Miles, then he would be performing. But
I
yeah.
mean, solid point. I don't
Um,
think you're putting him in a position where you can maximize his potential though, because he's running into stacked boxes.
mhm,
Every
true.
time you run a draw, it's 6 to 8 people in the box. Go count them every single time, and we don't audible out of it.
Right.
Frank doesn't know what an audible is at this point. He does not know.
Uh,
And you're looking at the play language before you even snap the ball. Look how long these guys were in the huddle for. It was like 10 whole seconds. Like,
yeah, they
okay,
are
let's
taking
line
too
up now.
long. They're definitely taking
And
too long.
then and then when you're trying to set up, it's just like and we had the same issue with with Matt Rule last year. It's like, come on, man. We haven't fixed this yet.
Sure.
Shorten the
No.
language.
What you got any to add on that, Mr. Carolina?
Fire Frank Wright.
I mean, the man was just shouting out an entire paragraph before the snap.
True. Delay a game
Come on.
here, delay a game there.
That's
Right.
what I said. It's like
And we're
it's
having to
bad
waste
clock
timeouts like
management.
candy.
Yeah.
It's bad clock management.
Mhm.
Horrible
It's
clock
bad
management.
coaching. If you have, it's like, and I'll equate this to my senior year. It's like when we had the freshmen coming in.
Mhm.
If you're not going to be able, the freshmen coming in are not going to understand the playbook like the seniors are. So what we had to do is we had for them dumb down our coverages. So I couldn't call a over under hot Z right as a corner. We were like, yo, just say over under. Let me dumb it down for you because you'll get the gist of it. But we as the upperclassmen understand this defense because we've been in it for 4 years better than you do. Frank Wright to me doesn't have a system. Like there is no identity to his system because he's still writing the feel good story of, well, I was the first quarterback in Panther history. And, it worked in Philly. It worked in Philly because you had a quarterback that was already there and was playing on the MVP caliber level.
Yep.
That's why it worked in Philly. It worked in Philly because you had damn near one of the best offensive lines in football at that time.
True.
It worked because you had I don't know, I don't remember who their running back was at that time, but you had a good running back at that time. You had wide receivers that were damn good. That's why it worked. Because you see where I'm going with this. The quarterback and the play caller makes all the difference in the world. If they're not on the same page, if you and I aren't vibing, it's not going to work. That's like a defensive coordinator in your middle linebacker. That's an extension of you on the field. If we don't have that back and forth communication, it's not going to work. If you and I are not vibing,
Right.
it's not going to work. Frank Wright, David Tepper, and Scott Fitterer. Fitterer, you might get a slight pass from me. I might let you come, but excuse me, when we go into this bye week 0-6, because it's happened, if you don't make an adjustment after that bye week, and we come out, and because we play Houston when we come back,
Yep.
if you do not make an adjustment, Frank Wright, to let Thomas Brown call the plays, you are telling us your ego is more important than the longevity of this team.
Facts.
Your ego is more important than the success of this franchise. You have to let go. It's not working. We're
Give
not,
up
that's
the
what I'm
ghost,
saying.
man.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Give
We're
it up.
not showing progress. So I don't want to. I don't want to hear. I don't show me these. We're scoring touchdowns when the game is already over.
Right.
To be a buck
No
50
more
with y'all,
excuses, Frank.
0. The game was over in
You
the
got
first
nothing to
half.
lean on.
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely.
Listen, the game was over in the first half. We was down 28.
Oh
The
yeah.
game was over.
Oh yeah.
We weren't coming back. Our offense is not built to do that. So technically speaking, that whole second half was a scrimmage for Detroit.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a literal scrimmage. That is why, oh, we got in the rhythm. No, we didn't. Detroit just stopped caring. It was like, this game is over.
Yeah.
And
It's
now
over.
and now
You're
that
right.
now that makes us 0-55 when trailing in the fourth quarter.
Ouch.
There is no, you need, for somebody that played the game of football for almost 30 years, if you don't have, and one thing I loved about playing the game of football, you have to have a alpha dog in it. Like you have to have some type of dog in you. There's some, first of all, to be a football player, there's something wrong with us mentally anyway. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. There's something wrong with us up here because we're going out there smashing against other people for about 2 hours. There's
Mm-hmm.
something not right with you up top. But if I'm on the field and I'm getting my ass kicked, something in me got to show some heart to be like, you know what, man, bump this, bruh. I got to show some type of passion, type of aggression. Like, I'm not going to let you keep running over top of me because I'm a grown man with a family. And if my wife and
Mm-hmm.
kids is watching this and I'm getting run over like I don't belong out here, how the hell am I going to produce it and, and provide for them? Because the team's going to look at me like, why are we paying you?
You know a perfect example of that just came to mind. Like when you're still getting your butts kicked, but you still want to show that you care.
Sure.
You remember
Yeah.
when we lost to the Texans and Steve Smith had that long catch and touchdown where he got hit like 5 or 6 times and
And kept going.
never went to the ground and finished the play and got like a what was it, a 50 or 60-yard
Yeah,
touchdown?
that's hard. That's
Yeah.
all hard. Hard. We don't have that guy in this locker room. We don't have that guy in the receiver room. As much as I like seeing, that's not his personality. He's not that fiery tempered guy. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna get on you, but not the way Smitty was a rare breed of receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Because you're gonna give him his damn respect, or he's gonna take it.
That's a fact.
He's gonna take it. That's like
That's a
I'm not here
doggone
to
fact.
live. Pep, you gonna give Julius Peppers his respect because that's a massive human being, and he'd probably beat you up if you don't. But Julius came out there, and Luke Kuechly, from the moment he stepped in this building, you was gonna respect that man because he worked harder than anybody.
Yep.
And he wasn't, get his ass off the field. He ain't doing what he's supposed to do. And you ain't got to be my friend. Get your ass on the sideline, cuz you ain't producing.
Mm.
Right.
You need somebody that's like, I'm going to get in your, excuse my language, I'm going to get in your shit.
Mm-hmm.
My teammates, honestly, some of them hated me. I don't care because I'm going to, you know how many games I've had, cuz even in college semi-pro where I almost had to fight a teammate because
Oh
a
snap.
leader, I don't want you to like me all the time, cuz being a leader is not fun.
Right.
I got to get
Mm-hmm.
on you. Kobe's teammates didn't like him all the time. MJ got fighting with his teammates. That don't mean I'm a bad teammate, cuz. But if I need you to reach my level, I'm not here for the crap. You're not going to give me your C+ work, and I need AA+ work. You're not going to come in here because you was drunk the night before and think you want to come produce on the field, cuz that ain't working with me. I need you working with me.
Yep.
We don't have somebody on this team right now, offensively or defensively, that's going to say, look, I'm going to grab you by your face mask and I'm going to drag you with me. We don't have the dog on this team that says, yo, I refuse to let us keep sucking like this. I refuse. Again, to the point, the team that we had with Luke, TD, Cam, them boys are gone.
Yep.
There is no true leader in that locker room. Not one. There's no dog. We talk all this crap during the offseason because it looked cute. We got that window dressing. It looks good from the outside, but when you get in the locker room, you get into the meat potatoes of it, there's no dog in this locker room that says, yo, you motherfuckers suck. You suck. Get off the field. Excuse the language. I know you probably got to edit that out, but like you.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
You suck.
Come on with it.
I don't know who the fuck is paying you. I can't say it. I don't know who's paying you.
Come on with it.
But yo, you suck. Y'all, instead of playing video games, instead of partying last night, your ass should have been in the gym. That's why run games suck. Because you motherfuckers don't want to live. You don't want to get strong. You don't want to study film. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do. But now we're going to put all this cute shit on the field. We're going to give you this full episode. Man, put that camera down, man, and get these boys to work. Give them 2 days now. Y'all make it soft. You're soft. I'm going to say it now. Soft. S-O-F-T. And all that shit is capital. You're soft.
Speak your truth.
And I love y'all cats. I love y'all for 20-something years. You're soft.
Speak your truth.
You giving up run game like you play y'all JV team, cuz. Where's your heart? That's why I love Brian Dawkins said about, yo, show me some heart. I don't give a damn if you're not the fastest. I don't give a damn if you're not the biggest. Where's your heart? You were 0-5 as a grown man coming up on Sundays trying to look cute with your little outfits on and shit, but that don't look good on the field, homie. It don't look good on the field. Joe Kane's dad. I'm going to say that again. Frank Wright, you are Joe Kane's dad off of the program. That is who you are. Because you are showing me nothing with your drunk ass looking on the sideline like you lost in the sauce. You look lost. You look stupid. Go get him a cane because he don't know football, and that's so dead ass. Get him a cane. Get him one of those fucking wheelchairs. Sit your stupid ass on the sideline. Matter of fact, if I could fire your ass today, cuz I would. You are some shit. I hate watching your team. You was some shit. You got gifted a team in Philly, and Dave Tepper hired your stupid ass because you look like him. Said it. Fuck out of here. You look like David Tepper. That's why he hired you. You are some straight cheeks. You don't like what I'm saying. I'm spitting bars here. I hate looking at bullshit. The man for the job, we let go because he didn't look like David Tepper. Somebody call me a liar. Frank Wright has no business being the head coach of this team. Dead ass serious. No reason. You suck in Indy. You suck. Motherfucker, you got fired and I found a job 6 months later off of what credentials? You won a fucking Super Bowl with a stacked team in Philly. Fuck out of here, man. These niggas some straight ass. But let me turn to a job because we'll get rid of the good old boy system. You kept that shit going, David Tepper. That motherfucker looked like you. What are you talking about? And he didn't do nothing. Man, goddamn, I could do this shit for hours, yo, because that shit just made me mad again. I'm looking at this fucking team, and they some straight shit. Because it starts from the top. You got a weak-ass owner that didn't do shit in Pittsburgh. You got a GM that had a good stacked-ass team out in Seattle. You hired a bum-ass coach that's fucking sucking at Nebraska. His ass got fired. You brought another bum-ass coach that couldn't get it done in Indy. But you hate mediocrity. Motherfucker, you are the epitome of mediocrity. What are you talking about? We're looking at mediocrity on this field. How many fucking times since you took over this team, we're looking at straight shit. John Wilson said about you are looking like some shit. Where's the toilet paper? Wipe this. I should wipe this. Where's the toilet paper? So I can wipe this shit up.
But to be real, y'all somebody has to say it. Somebody has to say it. I mean, I can safely say deep down, Mr. Carolina just said what we're all really thinking. If we're honest with ourselves, if we're deep down
Mm-hmm.
and honest with ourselves, we know our levels of disappointments. And Mr. Carolina just not only happened to speak his truth, but also I think it's safe to say, I don't know how y'all in the chat feel. I think he's speaking how we're feeling.
Yep.
Because if I didn't just turn 40, I would honest to God go try it for this team because I know damn well I can make
Mm.
it.
Speak your truth.
Ooh.
Speak your truth.
If I just didn't turn 40, and that's not to toot my own horn, I'm a good 5'9", 245. I can got them go play linebacker right now. How well these motherfuckers are.
Mm.
I
Ooh.
still got the heart to do it. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
on the couch for the past few years. I got the heart to do it. It's just, it's, it's, it's. You get to a point where most cats never reach. Most cats, and I'm not gonna say I was the best athlete, none of that shit. But when you get to the NFL, cuz that's a privilege.
Yeah. Oh,
You get
speak.
there, it's a privilege. So most cats get there, think it's the flash and dash and it's fancy and it's cool, and they take that shit for granted. Just because you own the team doesn't mean you own the team. Let that sink in for a minute. Just because you own the team, you don't own this team because you may be the owner, cuz, but if the team does not respect you as that owner, and you can take all the damn pictures you want to, your wife can hug all the players she wants to. That shit is for social media. But if your players are not respecting the decision that you're making, hell, if you're not respecting your players, we are seeing the product again being set on this field because we have an owner coming in being the Daniel Snyder of the South. I'm gonna keep saying that. We have Daniel Snyder, but in a Panthers uniform.
Oof. Oof.
This
Hmm.
he is a terrible owner. Terrible.
Yeah.
You've made bad decision after bad decision. Now, well, I will give Scott Fitterer a little bit of a leave. I'll give him one more off season. But
Okay.
Frank Wright, I already don't like you. I didn't like to hire to begin with.
Frank needs to go.
Yeah.
You gotta you, you gotta
I'm done
go,
with
cuz.
Frank, man. He
So
needs to go.
let me ask y'all this.
Mm.
Is it safe to say that the only good thing David Tepper has done was the Hall of Honor out of everything else he's done in this organization?
He did two good things.
Okay.
Two.
Okay. Take your time.
Pat and
Oh.
Back Cam for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
That was it. That's it. The two good things. Besides that, hot garbage.
Corey.
Hot, steaming pile of garbage at the bottom of the dumpster with stinky ass gym socks.
Mm.
0 for 2 on head coaches so far.
You stink.
Yeah.
You
Oh
stink.
man. Looks like you may have just earned a subscriber in Vietnam, Mr. Carolina. Just
That's what's
um
up, man.
I
let's
appreciate it.
see. So let's see. Let's get caught up. Fire Scott and all of the scouts. Lock Poppy says if he's a good GM, he won't be manipulated and will actually use his own brain and get good players. Yeah. Um,
If
Facts,
True.
Lock Poppy, we don't need a puppet GM. Fire Frank, Scott,
True.
and all of the scouts. Then fire the strength and conditioning coaches. Oof.
Ooh.
Uh, Lock
I
Poppy
think
said,
he's just panicking because he's just frustrated because we don't have wins. And he wants to see a win really bad, just like we do. But he's got to find somebody to blame, like we all do. We got to find a scapegoat. So I get it. And he
um,
doesn't know where to point the blame. We're trying to
let's
help you, bro.
let's see. Just sell the team at this point from Lock Poppy. Vietnam says promote Thomas Brown to head coach and let Parks call plays. Is Brown doesn't if Brown doesn't want to. Gotcha, gotcha. I was just making sure I understood.
Okay.
Chef 85 says, I thought we had a big plan for Jeremy Chin. Haven't really seen anything. Lastly, Corey is right. Pro bowlers aging or not does not work. Seifert tried that with Winky, C. Smith, R. White, Eric Swan, etc.
Right.
Yep. Still too early to give up on Young. Stroud on the team would be the same result. O-line is
Right.
terrible. O-line is awful. Is terrible. Frank doesn't trust Young to audible. Wright honestly did not want Young. I believe he liked Richardson.
I
There's
agree.
also word saying that he wanted Derek Carr as well, if
I
not
heard that rumor
Richardson.
too.
So that was kind of interesting. Um, Vietnam says, just admit it that the Sanders signing was a bad one, Corey. We didn't need a running back. We needed more O line help and secondary help. The O line has been able to run the ball versus 8-man fronts. I'll say this and then I'll let you respond. I'm not gonna say the signing was bad. I will say that it was unnecessary because we had a good combo in Foreman and Hubbard. We should have brought Foreman back. So I'm not gonna say he was a bad signing. I'll say it was an unnecessary signing. Go for it, Corey.
I'm actually starting to agree with you there. But even even with going up against 8-man boxes and stuff like that, you know, Sanders should at least be able to get the average amount of yards, that most of these running backs are getting. If you set him up for success, but you keep running him into stacked boxes, it's not gonna work. No wonder he's got 2.5 average every week. You keep putting him into bad situations, of course he's not gonna measure up. And then you're gonna say, oh, he sucks. And then you're gonna trade him off, and then he's gonna ball out somewhere else with a decent line. That's actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. We got injuries on the line. We can run the ball. It is been proven. Chuba is better at this point right now. Yes, I will admit that. Should we have maybe gone after Foreman and kept him around? Maybe. Yeah, I'm willing to admit that. But is Sanders a bad signing? No. We needed somebody to replace Foreman. He was there. He just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, so okay, sure. Let's see
You
if
should
he
have
can
brought
get the numbers you want.
you should have brought back Foreman though.
Yeah, and
We
that
couldn't get him though, and I'm not saying that it was a bad signing at all.
I
But what I'm saying is, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Foreman,
I was saying that not a bad signing but an unnecessary one.
Foreman
yeah, I
fit
agree
this
with you,
team.
Blitz.
Foreman fit this team's philosophy better than Miles Sanders. I'm just gonna say it.
Now I can
That
agree
is
with you.
true.
I can agree with you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We didn't
Definitely.
need CMC was the overall package. But after CMC left, in which I was heartbroken just like everybody else was because I love CMC.
Right.
Hmm.
Foreman fit what this team was to a T. He was that downhill, 1 foot in the ground, I'm going to get what I can type back. It's what we were built on. Miles
Hmm.
Sanders is like that Le'Veon Bell type where I'm going to jump and I'm going to try to find and find. No, put your foot in the ground and go get some yards. He's trying to dance. We don't need that because, again, we still haven't established an identity as an offensive line of what type of offensive line we are. Are we a zone blocker? Are we trying to just pound it down your throat? What are we trying to do? We still don't have that identity for an offensive line. And again, it goes back to what we are calling as a head coach slash offensive coordinator slash failure slash get your ass out of here and off the couch. Joe Kane's dad.
Mm,
He doesn't know who he is. Frank Reich never had a true identity. Is why if you look up the statistics for his offense besides the one he had in Philly,
Hmm.
what have they really done? Like you had again, to the point, you had a Matt Ryan, even though he was at the end of his career. You had a Carson Wentz. He didn't have he didn't have Andrew Luck, or did he have Andrew Luck? He didn't have Andrew Luck. He had Andrew Luck for what? Maybe 1 year, or was Andrew Luck out of the league by then? Point is,
I think he had him for 1 year.
you had talent that you could do nothing with,
Mm.
and
Yep.
somehow again finessed us into giving you a head coaching job.
Yep.
But again, that's what I'm saying, yo. I'm going to be on the fire Frank Wright train, even if was for somehow we win a couple games this year, because at the end of the day, you're making it very, very adamant. You're making it a point to tell the fans, my ego is more important than the overall product I'm going to put on this field, the overall progression of my rookie quarterback. Because again, I'm still high. I'm still going to be on that Bryce Young train. I'm not getting off of it. I still like the dude. I still want nothing but success for him. Does he show glimpses at times? Yes. Do we need to call better plays for him? Does he need to make better decisions? Yes, but he's still a rookie. I get that part.
Yep.
But you have not, since the offseason, he had a full, that's the part that pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
He had a full off season to assemble this all-star coaching staff. You had a full off season and cap room to build a better product on this field, and you didn't do it. Now, to the point that Jay and I talked about Thursday when we had the show, if Steve Wilkes had a full off season with his staff, the man that had us one game away from the division,
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, we would have not started the season 0-5, and I'll put my entire house on it. We wouldn't have started this season 0-5 because the players were already in place. They had already bought into his system.
Yep.
That one that he
Yep.
didn't have a chance to really put in place because he didn't have an off
Yep.
season.
Yep.
The
What would the
players
rest
were
of his
already.
team look like, too? Good question.
We may not have traded up to get a first round to the first overall pick, because you know what? Again, this is why I said I give Scott Fitterer a little bit of pass. We didn't need to go to number 1 and give up DJ Moore. You could have went to number 2 and still got CJ Stroud. You still would have had your number 1 receiver. And again, I'm going to address this one more time because it needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
To all to all the morons, and I'm going to call you a moron, that think DJ Moore was not a number 1 wide receiver. He's making
Get him.
Justin Fields look real good right now. And he was looking
That's
like
a
some
fact.
hot trash. He made Sam Darnold look good. He made Baker Mayfield look
Mm-hmm.
good. He made PJ Walker look good.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy.
Cam loved him.
Yep.
So do y'all know the definition of a number 1 receiver? It's not always putting up gaudy yards. It's, are you there when I need you? DJ Moore was there when Cam needed him, Sam needed him, Baker needed him, PJ needed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he still produced 1,000-yard season, which, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 receivers do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He still got 1,000 yards with quarterbacks that were hot garbage.
And you know the crazy thing about it?
Hmm.
All DJ Moore did was kept his mouth shut and played.
Bars.
Exactly.
Bars. You never heard a peep out of DJ. Never heard him
Nothing.
say anything.
Nothing at all.
He never complained. He may have showed some frustration. He never threw anybody under the bus. The man just went out there and produced.
Facts.
The only 2 times he has ever spoken up was to, 1, break up a fight that was in the stands, and 2,
Yeah.
when he took his helmet off after the Hail Mary touchdown that had a bogus penalty call. That's the only 2 times he has ever been extremely vocal when he's not in front of a podium, which was pretty rare. But he
and
played
that
football.
and that's what you need. He wasn't a diva. He wasn't complaining. Which a lot of these receivers now are divas. Hey, look at me, give me the ball, blah blah blah. That wasn't DJ. But now
Facts.
we're saying, oh, let's go trade for a number one. We didn't need to trade for a number one. We had one. And then you went up to trade for a quarterback, and now we're worse with said quarterback, even though, yeah, he's a rookie. That's okay. That's cool. But we're going to go waste more because y'all realize in order to do that, it's going to take more than just a Brian Burns to get a number one receiver. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
do understand that because teams watch us play and they notice he's not worth a first round pick. So why am I going to give you a first round pick for somebody that's not producing? And then he's going to ask me for $28 million. I'm not giving him that. But I'm gonna give you my first round pick. But even if we do trade him to a team, I want this stuff to sink in with y'all. We're gonna trade him to a team that's gonna have us picking in the late 20s. He's not going to a scrub team. He's gonna go to a team that's contending. We may get a late teens pick
Right.
if we trade Brian Burns because no team that is Brian Burns is going to get traded to a team that's contending at least for the playoffs or for a Super Bowl. He's not getting traded to the Bears. So whoever's putting out these trades or send him to the Bears with DJ Moore, that ain't happening. Stop it. You sound crazy. He's not going to a team that's going to stink. He's going to
Facts.
go to a team that's going to have us draft in the later parts of the round. So
Mm-hmm.
again, now we're trading. We traded away our best running back. We traded away our best wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all want us to trade away our best defensive end for hopefully a late round draft pick. Hopefully. Y'all hear the door if my son's getting in the car.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, dude? So we're hoping to get better. Not we're getting better. And so now we're going to look to trade our only valuable asset we have really right now on defense because again, I love JC when he's on the and that's the sad part. We have to keep saying with our players when they're on the field.
Yeah.
You know how
Mm-hmm.
frustrated y'all know we get frustrated with keep saying when you're on the field.
Yep. Very.
Because when JC's on the field, he's a shutdown corner. That's just what
Yes.
he is. When he's on the field. Dante is serviceable when he's on the field. Shaq is a good linebacker. I'm not gonna say great. He's a good linebacker when he's on the field. But how many times are we going to keep saying, y'all, when you're on the field? It's it's frustrating to keep watching and watching and watching a product on the field that again we were sold and told, oh, we're looking to compete. So if we trade for a number one receiver, somebody tell me the end game to trading for a number one receiver where we're not even competing for our division. So why are we trading away assets to not even compete? What is the point of it?
And what are
Trade
we
away
even going
assets.
to do with him anyway, even if we got him? We don't
Now,
even know what we're doing with our own wide receivers.
that point.
Yeah.
So what we're trading them for what? Trade for some offensive line help. Trade for that. Trade for a middle linebacker. Trade for that. You should have grabbed Bobby Wagner when he was a free agent. You didn't do that.
Facts.
You like if you know your run defense is porous, why not grab one of the best middle linebackers that helps in the run game?
Yep.
Yep. I was actually pushing for him. He has
And
Scott Fitter connections too to
and
Seattle.
when you think about it, they could have gone much harder if they really wanted a number one receiver. I mean, they could have gone hard at DeAndre Hopkins, but eh.
But they didn't. And I said
I was
it's the
pushing for it.
lack of urgency. It's the
Yeah.
lack of
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna say lack of football knowledge because I know these gentlemen have been in the game for a while, but it's the lack of urgency. It's like you don't
Mm-hmm.
know your roster like you should because you constructed it. If you know your team for the past couple of years has struggled in the run game, You brought in a couple defensive tackles. That's cool, but the defensive tackles are usually there, especially in the 3-4, to take up space.
Right.
Your
Mhm.
linebackers make your 3-4 because they have to be able to fly sideline to sideline and make the tackle.
Yep.
They have to be
Facts.
able to
Yep.
hit the gaps. That's not happening. It's so evident, and we're not doing nothing about it. So don't tell me, Scott Fitter, you're actively on the line looking for a wide receiver, because a wide receiver, last time I checked, doesn't play defense,
True.
Sure.
and we can't stop a nosebleed. A wide receiver can't block the defensive tackle that's coming through the A and B gap. But let's trade for a wide receiver because that's going to fix everything. No, it's not. There's a reason
Nope.
they say you build from the inside out. There's a reason they say you build from the inside out. We're not. We're trying to build from the outside in. And how has that worked for so many teams that have made it? It's just the Rams did it from the inside out.
They sure did.
Mm-hmm.
They build that offensive line up, and Matt Stafford looks hell of a good coming from a team where they try to do it the opposite way. Detroit tried to build with how many? I don't know if y'all remember how many years ago Detroit drafted wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver, and it didn't work because they neglected the offense. How many times have we drafted wide skill positions and neglected the offensive line? And we tried to patchwork
Yep.
our offensive line, and it didn't work. It's like if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. It's like we didn't learn build from the offensive line, build from the defensive line. Well, now we got defensive alignment, but we didn't finish. We didn't finish the building blocks and say, hey, you know what? Let me go get some linebackers to really fit this 3-4 scheme we're trying to run.
Hmm.
Let me go get some ground and pound guards that can actually hold a block, so this quarterback can step up and make a play. We
Oh,
didn't do that.
got an update. So
Mhm.
it's official. Chandler Zavala is traveling back with the team.
Awesome.
So
Good.
that's good news. That's good news.
That is fantastic news. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I, he's
Wonderful.
again rookie. Yeah, he's gonna make rookie mistakes, but definitely prayers out to him and his family. That he definitely just a speedy recovery.
Indeed.
But for our guys that we have, our guys that are on the field, Cade Mays came in and didn't play a horrible game at left guard. And what's the guy? Fort Worth, whatever his name is, on the right hand side. He
It
didn't
was
play too bad either.
it was like Hodgetsworth or
Whatever,
had some tricky
whatever.
name.
Worth something like that. Yeah.
He didn't play too bad, but you see what it is if I know my quarterback is getting hit a lot. Let me try to. I'm going to keep you in shotgun as much as I can, but not only that, I'm going to run a lot of play action.
Mm-hmm.
We, for some reason, we're running these, and I don't know if y'all saw the statistic. I think it's showing towards the end of the game. The average height of an NFL quarterback is right now at 6'3".
Hmm.
Bryce Young is standing at a cool 5'10". So if I have a 5'10" quarterback, let me not call quick screens to the left or the right, because the defensive end knows that all I got to do is really get my body in the way, and he can't see past me, because defensive ends nowadays about 6'5", 6'6".
Hmm.
How about we call plays again, which Bryce Young showed I can get the ball down the field.
Yep.
Get the ball down the field. Let him eat. I wanted to see a game where I don't give a damn if we throw the ball deep 25 times. Just let the boy air it out.
Just open
Exactly.
it up. Yeah.
Like just he's shown, and what shocked me, he threw a nice seam ball to Ian Thomas right down. I'm shocked Ian Thomas caught it,
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that
but
play.
he threw a perfect one down the seam. Hit him right in the damn near hit him in the helmet. The touchdown pass to Chart. Beautiful.
Hmm.
Down the field, put some zip into it. The corner pass it thin. Looked real good. The damn of course Tommy Tremble, that was a dink and dunk. That was an easy
Yeah,
one,
that was
but
a 1 yarder. Yep.
Yeah.
he shows glimpses of hope. So again, I have hope in Bryce Young, but he's being stalemated again by a head coach that refuses to let go of the reins and let this young man shine because he's afraid that if he does, I can tell you what it is. Frank Wright is afraid to let Thomas Brown call the plays because it would make him look like he was the wrong hire for the head coach and Thomas Brown should have been the head coach.
Mm.
Oh, good take.
I mean, that's a good take. That's a really good take.
Yeah.
It might hurt some feelings, but if you let
Yeah.
him and look at it this way, right now Frank Wright looks real bad calling plays. So if you let Thomas Brown take over and the offense starts humming, like what the hell do we hire you for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He should have been the head coach because it's like the offense looks better under him. Or look at it this way: if he has to, because I'm pretty sure it may come after the bye week. You were holding us back this entire time because you wanted to call plays and try to beat your chest. So instead of you letting go and producing,
Mm-hmm.
again, it comes into the ego. Your ego said, I can't look, and it's a pride thing as well. As a man, he said, I can't let my pride get in the way. My pride is getting in the way because I know if I let go and Thomas Brown takes over, people are going to see that I'm a fraud, that I shouldn't have been here to begin with. I got booted out of Philly. I fleeced Philly. I fleeced Indy, and now I'm over here, and I fleeced y'all suckers too. But y'all should have just hired Thomas Brown to be the head coach because the offense looks better under him. And I can guarantee those touchdown passes, the balls that we ran down the field, Thomas Brown went over to Frank Wright and was like, yo, stupid. How about we throw the ball down the field?
Mm.
It may help out.
Ooh.
Call him out. Call him out.
Why? I
Yeah,
just wish like I wish I could be a fly on the wall. If you could just, if I would just follow Thomas Brown and be like, yo, throw the ball down the field, you idiot. What are you doing? And then Frank Wright goes, oh yeah, I was going to do that. I was going to call that play, but thanks Thomas for pointing that out for me. Man, shut up. You wasn't going to call. Nah, that's what you man. Just like what you wasn't going to
That's
call
some
shit.
cloud garbage right there, man.
Frank Wright needs to learn how to be Captain James T. Kirk and let Spock handle it. He
Good
needs to
one.
let Spock
Bro,
handle
it's
it.
just you can tell. And I think, and I know Detroit let their foot off the gas, but you can tell the difference in first half play calling and second half play calling.
Right.
Yep.
I can guarantee you, Thomas Brown had a lot more stupid do this play. Like Frank, we gotta call something different because your shit ain't working.
Yep.
It's
Pretty
not
much.
working.
Mm.
Frank, call this play. I can guarantee you it'll work. Frank goes, oh yeah. Hold on. Let me call one more play. Let me call one more play, Thomas, and I promise you we'll go with your play. Let me call one more, and I got you, bro. I got you. I promise you. I haven't forgot you're standing over here. I haven't forgot we hired you to be the OC. I haven't forgot about you, brother. It's just I need for this play to work. It has to work. I told my wife it would work. It has to work. Hold on, wait 1 minute. Okay. We got a couple of yards. Somebody hand me a beer. That's what he looks like.
Mm.
It looks like a clown show. It's like you ever seen that guy? It's like he's beating his head against the wall. He knows the wall is not going to fall, but he keeps hitting it for some reason, thinking it's going to make a dent. Frank Wright is the classic example of hitting your head against the wall, thinking it's going to make any type of dent, and it's not. So we're stagnant. And then it takes your offensive coordinator to say, yo, this play down the seam works. They're not covering the tight end down the seam, stupid. Throw it to the tight end. Oh, yeah. Run a double wide to the right and have Thielen do a route and have Chark do a post behind him. It's going to score. Oh, it scored. Call that play. I know you did. No, you didn't, you idiot.
Kind of reminds me
Hey,
of
hey, hey, uh,
it. Kind of reminds me of when you have the driver and a passenger, and he needs to get gas, and the passenger's like, "You probably should stop here." No, 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 10 more miles. I can make it 10 more miles. 10 more miles. You should probably stop here. It's getting lower and lower. No, 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 15 more miles. 15 more miles. I can
I
I can
got
wait
it.
till the next one. I can go to the
We're
next one.
okay. We're okay. We're okay.
And then bam, stuck in the middle of the road. You should have
And you
got
got to push.
gas.
Yep.
That is Frank Wright. Frank Wright
Mm-hmm.
is it. It has to work because I
Yep.
spent all off season selling these people hope. I
Yep.
sold them hope. I said we're going to be okay. We're a quarterback away from competing. We're a quarterback away. Damn, I messed up. Now we're a wide receiver away from competing. But wait a minute. Didn't you just bring in two legitimate wide receivers, a legitimate tight end? Didn't you draft a wide receiver in the second round? Didn't you ostracize the one wide receiver that was showing promise last year and delegate him to fourth, fifth string? So
Mm,
now we're a number one wide. And that's again, I'm gonna beat that drum too. That's the part that kills me. For the people that hate on Terrace Marshall so bad, the man was mossing people and showing promise last year with Andy Dalton. Excuse me, Baker Mayfield.
Baker and Sam.
Now all of us,
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
he's a fourth string wide receiver with the guys that we have on our roster. Why? You cannot. It's just like if you show momentum towards the off season, and if you watch the workout, even from last year, even during this off season, Terrace Marshall was one of the guys that was out with everybody producing. Guess who got on the field a little bit more today? We talked about it, Jay Laviscus. He
Yep,
got on the field
he
today.
did.
He was producing. Let the man on the field. We, Frank, let me not say we, because if I was coaching, we damn sure would be over 5. Frank Wright is he's not he wasn't the right head coach to hire in the first place.
Hmm.
He shouldn't have been our first choice. He shouldn't have been our second nor third choice. But now it's like he's trying to put band-aids on his mistake. And I'm going to say it again. If we trade for a number one wide receiver, it's putting an astronomical hole in our future because we're going to have to get trade away assets on our defense. That is truly the only bright spot we have for
Right.
a wide receiver that may or may not fit into a system. And if that wide receiver doesn't pan out, they're going to have to trade for another one. So now we're still trading away assets for a wide receiver when we had wide receivers on the team and we had a number one and we let him go. So Frank Wright, for God's sake, please don't make it seem like you know what you're doing. Please don't make it seem, and I haven't even seen this press conference just yet. 'Cause I'm still driving home. So please don't go into your press conference and say, "Well, we had good signs." No, we didn't. Stupid. Shut up. Detroit stopped playing.
Yeah,
Detroit stopped
He did
playing after the
exactly
first
that
half.
too.
he actually did. Like we had the
I'm
audio
done.
going, and
I'm
yeah,
done.
Oh my lord.
he's just
I'm
like
done.
keep the faith. I believe I've been in this situation before.
Ain't nobody
That's
drinking
why I'm
that
keeping the
Kool-Aid,
faith.
bro.
I've been in this
Uh,
situation, so
I'm done.
yeah.
I'm
We know
done.
you lying.
We
do,
know.
do you ever wonder why, Frank, that you keep getting in this situation? I've been in this situation before. You wonder why?
Right.
I'm done with cuz, bro. I'm done. I can't. You are putting us in a situation. Then you want to go into a press conference. We're gonna. I said I haven't heard. I don't. I'm gonna hear later
He is
on,
lying through his teeth.
and that's the sad part, cuz we know he's lying. We know he's full of tarts. Any real fan knows he's lying
Yep.
because he knows, and he should know. Your days here, cuz, are numbered because as we're not used to we're not okay with mediocrity.
Nope.
We're not okay.
Facts.
And any fair weather fan that says, "Oh, no, we're not okay with
No,
you
we're not.
sucking ass. We're not okay with 0-5. I've been here before.
Nope.
We don't like being here.
Mm-mm.
We we're not used to. But if we are losing, and again, I'll say this again, if we were losing when we were, at least the damn games were entertaining.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least the games our boys didn't quit. Again, goes to the case in point of leader of men. 0-4 under Matt Rule. Not a leader of men. One game away from winning the division with Steve Wilkes, leader of men. 0-8 under Frank Reich, not leader of men. There's a pattern going on here, Mr. Tepper, where you're not hiring leaders of men. You're hiring your golfing buddy to come in here because he looks like you, not because of his real resume. Because if that was a coach, hell, Thomas Brown got a Super Bowl too. Why didn't you hire him as a head coach?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Deuce.
But
Deuce Staley.
I'm just saying, he won a
Yep.
Super Bowl more recently than Frank Reich did on a better
Yep.
on a better offense.
Yeah. I was also saying Deuce Staley as well, and he's won a Super Bowl as a player and as a coach.
Why didn't you hire Deuce? Oh, but again, and they put the men in these positions that look like the guy that you didn't want to hire as a head coach. Make it make sense. Guys that have played this game at a high level of coach.
Oh, I think he went on mute.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he went on mute.
Y'all still
Yeah. Go for it.
you make them the coordinators, but not the head coach. Make that
Right.
make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. But fellas, I'm gonna get on here in a minute. I gotta go pick up something from the grocery store. As always, it's all love here. Love y'all like a fat kid loves cake, man. It's always keep pounding to the day I die.
Love you too.
Love you too, brother.
Deuces. So, facts. I mean, he
Yeah.
said it really well.
Mm-hmm.
See, more comments. We're almost caught up.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see. Vietnam says, oh wait, nah. Chef 85 says it just sucks for us right now. We can keep taking it or get some pride and fight back. Sadly, facts.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam says no need to sign a running back until the O line was fixed. Which I mean, like I said, last season we had a
Mm-hmm.
good O line.
Solid point.
Which they've regressed. Chef 85 says if you don't believe in the culture or the coach, why would you fight? Answer is you don't.
Facts.
Vietnam says Scott doesn't know how to draft the dogs we need. Hashtag fire Scott. This team is soft, like he said. We have no heart. LMAO from Lock Poppy. Vietnam says spit that fire, Mr. Carolina. Mr. Carolina is hilarious. LMAO. Oh yeah, got that. Let's
Oof.
see. Chef 85 says
Mm-hmm.
Tepper didn't have a black coach or anyone to take attention away from him. Mr. Carolina said it, and I agreed last week. Vietnam says they both need to go. Scott and Frank, let Avero and Brown take over. Yeah, I'd be down. Lock Poppy says Reich at the beginning of the season. Bottom end is playoffs. Top end is championships. Nice cap, Frank. He's not wrong. That hey,
Wow.
go back to the introductory press conference when he got
Yep.
hired. It's
Yep.
there. It is there. Um, let's see. Batman, hi. Welcome to the stream. Somebody named Batman. Okay. Vietnam says hire Capers as GM. Interesting choice, but hey. Lock Poppy says the Bears and 49ers had a master class on getting our good players. Facts.
That's true.
Chef 85 says Icky Moten. Everyone played better when we pounded the rock. John Fox, Sam Mills era did that. You knew 2 minutes left in the game with Fox. It was over. We are running the clock out and getting the W and going home. Reich,
Here's the
Capers.
thing, like
Oh yeah, go ahead.
these offensive linemen were designed. They were run heavy. That's who they are. So that's why they were as successful as they were at running the ball, because you got predominantly run heavy offensive linemen.
Right. Good point. That's actually a good point. A good reminder. Um, let's see. Reich, Capers, Caldwell, all that knowledge in the stadium at games or practices, and we cannot win a game. LMAO, please. Another narrative lying owner just keeps playing the fan base. John Fox said it best. You build in the trenches first.
I agree
Facts.
with that one. Yep, facts.
Facts. Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. Hello. First of all, I really respect what Dan Campbell is doing with the Lions. Give him credit. He is working hard. The Panthers are on the other hand, need to fix the problems which are evident.
Facts.
Uh, Spirit of Sports, welcome to the stream. Says I will give y'all respect. Y'all never gave up and won't give up, and respect that I would love to see what y'all could do with a great offense and defense. Why don't y'all hire Eric Bieniemy as part of y'all team's coaching staff? I would have loved
Washington
that.
already got him.
I would have loved that. And I wasn't against the Thomas Brown hire. It was just they need to let Thomas Brown cook. But yeah, I would have loved to have gotten Eric Bieniemy.
Me too. Washington already beat us to it.
Yeah.
He's with the Commanders and Ron Rivera now.
So to dig into more of this these stats, uh
That's what I wanted to do.
26 first downs to 23 first downs. So that was pretty close.
Yep.
5 of 10 on third downs. The Lions were 4 of 10. We had
Yep.
65 total plays. They had 60.
Mm-hmm.
They had one more drive than us. They had 11 drives. We had 10. I mean, you would think statistical wise, it was almost even in the passing game. I mean, we had more passing
Right.
yards,
We matched him in a lot of areas here.
but they
Just looking
killed.
down this list.
Yeah, but they killed us on the run.
Yep.
Um, but of course, 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. Hard to win games with that many turnovers. Uh, did better in the red zone, 3 of 4, but of course they were 4 of 4. Um, they killed us on the run. I mean, 159 rushing yards to only 99 from us.
Mm-hmm.
And they had more time of possession, 31 minutes 15 seconds to our 28 minutes 45 seconds. So, ugh,
I mean, the biggest stat on here that stands out to me is the turnovers number.
yeah,
It's 3. That's a big factor whether you're going to win or lose a game. And even the fact that Bryce still completed 25 out of 41, that's still not bad. You know, but we still made Goff look like a Pro Bowler. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. Jared
Look
Goff,
at the yards per pass: 5.8 for us, 7.3 for them.
yeah. Goff, 20 of 28, 236, 3 touchdowns.
That kind of shows you the play calling is the culprit there, because we didn't maximize our weaponry.
Bryce finished 25 of 41, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, got sacked once. Which I believe was the strip sack, or no, not the strip sack. Was the one sack on oh yeah, Aiden Hutchinson. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Um,
5 for 10 on third downs versus their 4 for 10 on third downs. It's still not great, but it shows our defense is taking initiative and shutting them down on third downs.
And I was surprised. Chuba Hubbard actually had more carries than Miles Sanders.
Yeah, you did.
9 and 35. Miles had 7 and 32. LaVisca had a handful of carries, 5 of and 27. But Thielen had another 100-yard receiving game, 11 catches, 107, a touchdown. Would like to see more from Chark, 3 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. And Tommy
Yeah, I
Tremble,
was kind of disappointed there.
yeah. They got Mingo in the mix a little bit, 5 catches,
Right.
48 yards. So I mean, and Ian Thomas had the big 28-yard catching. So I mean, like I said, Bryce did his thing. I mean, despite the 2 interceptions, he did throw 3 touchdowns. So, and like I said, it's just
I
one of
had so
those.
many people saying that, Bryce can't throw deep in chat, while I was watching it live. And I was like, okay, then what is that gigantic pass to Ian Thomas in the end zone then? Yeah, he can
Yeah,
do it. Like, stop. Show him the proper respect. He's got the skills. Open it up. Let him do his thing. We let Cam be Cam and look at the results.
yeah, exactly. Whoa. Colts running back Zach Moss had a field day. 23 carries, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeesh. Dang. He ran all over Tennessee. Um, let's see. Spirit of Sports says coaching staff on your team needs help, just like most of the league. Adam needs to be involved. Maybe some more play action. Need to open up the
Yeah,
playbook. That's for sure.
yeah. I would say play action is a good idea. We saw some play action in the fourth quarter and it did work. But again, that was Detroit letting off the gas, like Mr.
Yeah.
Carolina said. But
Yeah.
I would like to see more of it, if we're going to be successful as far as like moving the ball down the field.
Von Bell was the leading tackler, 9 total tackles. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the 2 sacks, of course, one with Brian Burns, one to C.J. Henderson. But
You
yeah,
know, and Troy Hill again continues to display the fact that he is a playmaker. He had 2 big hits in critical situations.
true, true.
Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, do your thing.
There we go.
But yeah,
Sorry, I get phone calls all the time. I'm a busy man.
but man, that Detroit run game, David Montgomery and Craig Reynolds ate us up. I mean, 42 points, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
And Sam Laporta had 2 of those receiving touchdowns. But it shows that Detroit, well coached, and they have depth. They didn't even need their best receiver.
yeah. That's a very, very dangerous Detroit team. They've definitely shown for real this is a statement win that they are really serious about trying to take this division and really bring it home this year.
Yeah, they had no Jameer Gibbs. They didn't even need him. No Brian Branch. Like, I think Emmanuel Mosley got hurt later, and I don't think he came back in. But Detroit has depth, and they are well coached. I mean, Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
I think. Oh yeah, Ben Johnson on the play calling. I
yeah.
mean, coaching, big key. Um, but but
I'm
yeah,
kind of thinking that Frank might have been a product of the system, much like we were talking about Miles Sanders.
right.
Like, what did he actually do with the Eagles when he was there?
So Frank Reich was Yeah, he was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think somebody. I don't know.
And the Eagles was his last stint as offensive coordinator before he got hired as head coach to Indy.
Somebody might have been calling this place for him. I mean, this is a stretch, but it's possible. That might have been. I don't know.
Well, that was when they had don't forget that Super Bowl. That was Doug Peterson as their head coach.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Because Doug Peterson was really intelligent. He knew exactly where he wanted to put his players. He knew his roster.
And of course, Doug Peterson, you know, was also before, like, he was a quarterback, and he was a quarterback's coach for the Eagles before he returned and was their head coach. So
I am so sorry. ESPN does this all the time. Stop it.
yeah, you're good. But but yeah, but like I said, I shout out to Bryce Young. He was slinging it out there, and got him 3 touchdowns. So I mean, he threw his picks, but I mean, he's just got to keep going out there and slinging it. But yeah, but like Mr. Carolina said, bro, we might as well get ready for incoming 0-6.
Yep.
I hate to
I'm
say
already
it,
preparing for 0-9. The way this is going, it's not
because
going to be a fun ride, Panthers fans. It really isn't, fellow
because
brethren.
looking at how Miami did today, Tyreek Hill went off, eight
Yeah, he
catches,
did.
181 yards and a touchdown. Devin
Yep.
Arcane, 11 carries, 151 yards and a touchdown. Raheem
Oof.
Morstead, 10 carries, 65 yards and a touchdown. Uh, and don't
Don't
forget,
forget Travis Etienne earlier this morning too. 2 touchdowns.
and not only that, Miami still has Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson Jr.
Waddle had a crazy catch. I don't know if you saw that highlight.
I heard about
That
it. I hadn't seen it, but I heard about it.
oh, it was wild, dude.
But like, they got weapons on offense. There's a reason why Miami is 4-1,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and we just lost to a now 4-1 Detroit Lions, and we got to turn around and face a 4-1 Miami Dolphins team
Oh gosh.
at home, which they are undefeated at home.
Oh, ouch.
And they got 7 sacks. 1 on Tyrod Taylor, 6 on Daniel Jones. And even the game before that, he ate 10 sacks.
Oh,
And this was the same team that put 70 on the Broncos.
right.
Whoo, man. Oh, man. Oof. Yeah.
Wow.
I just, yeah. Uh, Other scores. We know Chicago beat Washington. Jacksonville beat Buffalo. Um, oh yeah, like you said, Travis Etienne went off. 26 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, 7 catches, 122 yards.
Yeah, Calvin really came back with that Falcons team and really lit it up. That was quite a sight.
Uh, Indy beat Tennessee. Um, which Zach Moss, he went off. 23 carries,
Mm-hmm.
165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jeez. Whew. Um,
Look at Cincinnati 34-20 over Arizona right now. My goodness.
uh-oh.
Cincinnati exploding on offense.
So let me see how bad this Saints over Patriots game is.
Oh,
Derek Carr, 18 of 26, 183 yards and 2 touchdowns.
ouch.
Alvin Kamara, 22 carries, 80 yards, a touchdown.
When was the last time New England was blanked? Like completely blanked?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Last year, probably.
Perhaps. Oh, man, they got nothing going. Mac Jones, 12 of 22, 110 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked twice.
Ouch. They had to bring in Zap,
Yeah, and he was 3 of 9, 22
Mr.
yards.
Bailey.
Oof. And they got
Hmm.
no running game. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 carries, 24 yards. Ezekiel Elliott even got shut down. 8 carries, 21 yards.
Even Devontae
Jeez.
Parker got shut down receiving wise. That's unusual.
Yeah. Dang.
Smith
Like,
Schussler is usually a baller.
oh,
What
Juju
happened
only
to
had
him?
6 yards. What?
Yep.
Wow.
I told you without Hardman, he's not going to do anything. You got to have his component.
Dang.
You got to have somebody that matches him chemistry wise. That's why he was successful in Kansas City because they knew how to use it.
You usually don't see Belichick shut out, though. Dang.
He's got to be losing his mind right now.
Ooh, Honey Badger got a pick 6. Tyrann Mathieu. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he had got a pick 6 in this game. Oof.
Well, well, well.
Pittsburgh. Ooh, Pittsburgh beat Baltimore.
Indeed, they did.
Oh, and Lamar struggled. 23 of
Ooh.
38, 236 yards, an interception, got sacked 4 times. Dang.
Hmm. Now
Uh,
you're starting to settle in and see like certain patterns with certain teams. You know, because we entered week 5.
yeah. Wow, in the Houston and Atlanta game, nobody got sacked from either team. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, that was a really, really close game.
Yeah,
Uh, so right now, Kansas City is up over Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota's keeping it close.
they are.
27-20. Both.
And I said that Kansas City secondary is a little suspect. So in the fourth quarter, Minnesota's going to start popping off here and catching up. But, you know, they got 7 already. Can they get 14?
Right,
You
right.
know, to tie it up. But
Oh,
at the end of the day, it's going to come down to a field goal because Mahomes is going to drive him down the field and get him into field goal range within 2-minute drill
hmm.
time.
But both quarterbacks are playing well so far. No turnovers or no interceptions from either of them.
Yeah,
Um,
Kirk Cousins is one of the better quarterbacks out there right now, for sure.
right.
Look
So
at Kelsey, 10 catches and a touchdown already. 67 yards. Look at you.
and
He's not done yet either.
the Jets are winning over the Broncos 24-9 or no, 24-21.
Yep.
Uh
Look at
ooh.
Denver coming back. Look at that.
Ooh,
Huh.
look at Brees Hall. 19 carries, 168 yards and a touchdown. Jeez.
Ooh.
They're struggling to stop the run on Denver's defense.
Okay. Russell Wilson, 14 for 21, 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Still struggling.
Yeah, not big numbers, but hadn't turned the ball over.
Yeah.
So, but both teams are 1-3, so this game could really go either way. And there you have it. Looks like Cincinnati got the win.
Yep.
Uh, whoa, Jamar Chase. Whoa! 15 catches, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Wow.
And there was a rumor that we were going to try to trade for him.
Yeah,
Nope.
he
They're
requested
not
a
giving him up
trade.
now. There ain't no way they're going to give him up now.
Oh no. Oh no. Dang.
No. He's off the radar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jamar's not going anywhere.
Nope.
Joe Burrow. What a return for Joe Burrow. 36 of 46,
Wow.
317 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception.
Welcome back, Joe.
Yeah, welcome back, Joe,
They
who
missed you.
played in the Super Bowl not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But man, just phew. So that makes
We still
Cincinnati
got
2-3 now. So
2 and 3. Uh, uh. Well, it says 1 and 3,
oh, they just hadn't
but it
updated
should be
the
2 and 3. They just haven't updated it. Yep.
and the Eagles still remain undefeated. 23-14 over the Rams. Even though Matthew Stafford had a great game,
Yep.
but wow, Jalen Hurts ran for 72 yards and a touchdown. Wow.
Nice.
Oh wow, they had 2 receivers over 100 yards. Dallas Goddard and AJ Brown.
Well,
Dang.
that Rams loss was not on Matthew Stafford. He went 21 for 37, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you can't blame him.
Right. And that was the return for Cooper Kupp as well.
Yep.
You're in a hurry.
8 catches, 118 yards. Looking great.
But Matt Stafford did get sacked 4 times. Oof. 2 of them.
Yeah, that O line is not what it used to be in LA.
Oh, and guess what? 2 of those sacks were from Jalen Carter. The other 2, Hassan Reddick.
Of course.
Why am I not surprised?
Why am I not either? It just seems like every good player that we let go of, that did not do anything in Carolina, just pops off and becomes a Pro Bowler the very next year.
Yeah.
And they just go right back to what they were doing before they came to Carolina.
But like we said, prayers going up for Chandler Zavala. Thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
he's traveling
Mm-hmm.
home with the team, so that's a good sign.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, man, just still the only team without a win, and we got to play the Dolphins.
Did you mention about Cam Newton yet? The Cam Newton news?
Oh, are you talking about
Yeah, he declined the offer for the Jets of like
oh
5 point
yeah.
something million dollars.
It was like 5.5 million. He was like, no. He's
Man,
like,
if you want, Cam said, if you want me to play for you, you better set me up with a 401k, a pension
yeah,
plan, and 2 really good health plans because there ain't no way I'm playing behind that line without at least $20 million.
yeah,
I don't blame you, Cam. He
yeah,
knows exactly what he would be walking into.
yeah. He was like, you're not about to nickel and dime me.
You're not about to troll me, bro. I'm not falling for that.
Shoot,
I'm not Aaron Rodgers.
I'm
Shoot.
serious. But Lock Poppy says I wouldn't say Hassan didn't do anything here. Oh, he did a bunch here. Hassan was a beast for us. Oh, facts. That's why we miss him.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That is why we miss him.
Yep.
But I tell you what though, Dallas, San Fran, I might actually tune in for that because
That might be interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. Yeah,
I'm feeling like Dak is just not going to get it done at the end, and it's going to come down to a field goal. You
yeah,
know, um, you know, San Fran's defense is better than Dallas's right now.
oh yeah,
Keep that in mind.
And yeah, just
San Fran's about to prove that their 4-0 is legitimate.
yeah, seriously. Pancho Navarez. I hope I said that correctly. If not, please forgive me. Welcome to the stream. Sup, sup. Where are we from? Raleigh, North Carolina.
South Carolina, upstate. I'm not going to say exactly where.
Uh, let's see. But yeah, I'm very interested in tonight's game. I think it'll be really good. I think it'll definitely be really good. Yeah, I figured. Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
I butcher names all the time, buddy. Don't worry about it. uh, anybody else you want to talk about?
He says he grew up in California, OC. Oh, cool deal. Uh, to be honest, dude, this loss was very draining. Very draining. And honestly, I mean, there was a little bit more fight in Bryce Young and he did his thing, but honestly, that's the defense had a big relapse today, and after that type of performance, I'm not really confident that we'll even come close to a shade of a victory in Miami.
nope, not at all. We're going to get slaughtered.
It's just a matter of how bad is it going to be.
I had a Dolphins fan in my chat earlier. Go figure, right?
Yeah. Yes, who won the Chargers game? Did the I don't think the Chargers played.
Chargers?
I think the Chargers are on a bye.
Uh,
Yeah, the Chargers are on a
yeah,
bye.
Chargers are on a bye.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're on a bye. So no game until week 6.
Yep.
But uh I guess we'll go into final comments. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I'll make mine quick, but we're going to get slaughtered next week. The only thing that I can really hope for is as many of the players get back to full health. I know there was thoughts about the idea if Austin Corbett's ready, put him in there. Honestly, I'd say wait until after the bye.
Yeah,
Play it.
don't rush him.
Yeah, just wait until after the bye.
There's no point.
Yeah. Um, and 0-5, Frank. Once again, rinse and repeat. Same thing, different outcome. Or no. Same thing, same outcome. So, uh Carolina Panthers. That's our teams. Uh but yeah,
Yes, sir.
I'm just
Ride or
waiting.
die, man.
I'm just waiting to see when Frank Reich's going to finally swallow his pride, hand over the clipboard and just oversee everything. Be a head coach and oversee everything.
He's
But
not going to.
but I don't believe he's going to either. So I'm at the
I don't
point.
even trust him with the depth chart at this point.
Yeah. So to be honest, I'm at the point where we just strap in and just be ready to take as many L's as possible because I got a feeling they're going to reign this season. I just have that bad feeling. And
Yeah.
alrighty, thanks for popping in. God bless you too. But yeah, I don't know what. The only thing I can say is I know hope for the best, expect, you know, but be
Expect
ready
the
for
worst.
yeah, expect the worst. I would say expect the worst
Yeah.
because
And hope for better.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I kind of went into this thinking we were going to lose. Just Detroit's a much stronger team, even
Oh,
with
yeah.
riddled with injuries. They have the coaching and they have the depth,
Mm-hmm.
which is why they were able to put up 42. I mean,
And they did that without Amon Ra. Come on.
yeah. I mean, they literally put up 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns. What more can I say?
Amon Ra would run circles around CJ Henderson.
Yeah. So, well, only thing I can say is I guess try again next week. You know, but
Yeah.
that's all I got. You got the floor, bro.
What I'm going to say is this. What is the definition of insanity?
Doing the
Doing
same.
the same thing over and over and expecting different results. This is Frank in a nutshell.
Yep.
If you don't hand over that clipboard, no, scratch that. I want him gone. If we lose to the Bears, I want him gone the day after. He does not need to stay here because at that point he's a glorified cheerleader, and I don't want him touching this depth chart anymore. I don't want him prowling these sidelines, refusing to throw challenge flags, refusing to call timeouts when we need to, refusing to call the correct plays during field goal situations. I mean, this is just it's ridiculous. Your pride is over the freaking moon, Frank. It's over the moon. And then back down. It's like Apollo 13.
Hmm.
I mean, come on, man. How do you not recognize this? Oh, God, it's so frustrating to watch this $70 million roster, man. $70 million down the drain. Down the drain. We still got to pay these players anyway, though. And
Yep.
we don't even have a first round pick. And now you're about to trade Brian Burns for a wide receiver you're not even going to be able to use? Why? For what? For what? I love T. Higgins, but for what reason are you trading for him not to even use him correctly? This is absurd. At this point, if I was T. Higgins, I would say no to that trade outright.
Right.
And I'm a huge Clemson fan. I know what T. Higgins is capable of. And I've had people say during the week, okay, why are these people coming here to Carolina? Just to waste a year. And I'm like, I can't argue with you because that's exactly what they're doing. They're wasting a year or two of their career, and then they're coming back and balling out. And I'm like, something is wrong here, seriously wrong here. If we continue to do this, it's just I don't understand why we are doing this year after year and after year. This franchise is insane. It's sick. It's an infection. And we refuse to treat the source of it. We refuse. Year after year after year. We keep putting ourselves at harm's risk and allowing that infection to grow even stronger. At what point do we break this wheel? At what point do we put our hearts and souls into this franchise and say, I care about the success of this franchise? Frank does not care. He does not care, and it's plainly evident. If you need more proof, look at the challenge flag that never was. If you need more proof, look at the pressers. That man openly lied again, blatantly to everybody's faces, through his teeth, over and over and over again. Now, who does that sound like to you? Who does it sound like to you? Every coach that we've ever had, right? When they couldn't get it done. And this points back to the owner, David Tepper. You
Yep.
refuse to take out the turf. You refuse to care about trying to turn this franchise around by getting us a decent coach. You're 0 for 2. Sell the team, please. You don't know what you're doing. It's clearly evident. You gave Matt Rule a 7-year contract. A 7-year contract.
Yep.
What? Who asked for a 7-year contract? Let alone gives a 7-year contract to a head coach at all.
Especially for his first head coaching job in the NFL.
You're paying that man millions and millions of dollars. We're still paying that man millions of dollars. We're still paying him.
Yep.
For what? For 2 wasted years of Carolina football. Now you're doing it again with Frank Reich. Please stop this. Please. For the love of everything that is green on this earth, stop it. Stop hiring the wrong man. You knew you hired the wrong man, and you're still standing by him. The fact that he is still here after 5 losses, it is evident.
Yeah.
If you had any shred of football knowledge whatsoever, this man would be gone. He wouldn't even been hired here. So, in my opinion, go back to your hedge fund management because that's what you're good at, bro. You know, go back to what you actually know something about. Go make your money.
He had no problem doing
Don't
it.
ruin this franchise. Just because your wife wants to own an NFL team.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's even the case.
He had.
Because the women have such a strong impact on the man's choices sometimes. They
Oh
really
yeah.
do.
This is true. This is true.
If your wife says, I want this, 9 times out of 10, she's going to get it.
Yeah. Fair point.
I mean,
But you know
you
what?
know,
He had no problem making that move on Matt Rule after a 1-4 start, but yet
exactly.
here we are 0-5 and
Like, and we're not making a move now.
yeah, I don't
And to Mr. Carolina's point, man, everybody's throwing Scott under the bus. I say, okay, let's give Scott 2 more years. And if Frank is still here after that time, it's still Frank. It's still Frank's fault. Now, if Frank is gone, then if we still continue to struggle with terrible draft picks and all that stuff, then yeah, blame Scott. But at this point, like, I'm willing to give him 2 more years. I want him to open the floodgates, unbiased, untampered with. Let him loose. Let Scott loose. Stop manipulating the man. Let him make his own choices. And if he fit, he either sinks or he swims as a GM.
so you're not quite 100% done with him yet.
Not Scott, no.
I see.
I see a lot of good things that could come out of the picks that we got, but they were positional picks. Like I said, we needed positional picks. They were not the ones I wanted us to get in those positions, but okay, sure. We got help in those positions.
Right.
We spent the money, we got rookies, we did what we had to do. Now, on paper, this roster looked fantastic
Right.
when it started out. Nobody denies that. Anybody that denies that they said that back then, before the season even started, come forward now because you're backtracking.
Mm.
You're backtracking. If you say these players don't have any skill now, you're backtracking. All right, so what we need to do again is put these people in the proper positions to do what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be themselves. Let them be who they are.
Oh, and
Until you can do that, you have failed at your job.
agreed.
The
Also,
depth chart rotations have been horrendous.
yeah, they have actually.
Horrendous. Okay, it started in preseason. I called this out the first preseason game. I noticed it then, and it's still happening. Okay, you put Michael Jordan and Cameron Irving in with the ones, knowing how terrible they are.
Mm-hmm.
In the first preseason game, started them with the ones. Who does that? That's like putting Bradley Bozeman on the bench. Oh, wait, who did that? Matt Rule did that. So, I mean, here we are again. Same stupid mistakes, same idiotic decisions. And we're right back where we started. Circling the wagon wheels again. Only because we refuse to change what is happening. So, either change or we're getting the same results. That's the rest of the NFL has adapted. Why haven't we?
Yeah, no kidding. Um, Also, heads up, Jets beat the Broncos and the Chiefs did beat the Vikings.
Mm.
So, but yeah, but nah, well said, bro. Well said. But
We'll end up sounding like a broken record every week, saying the same stuff every week until things change. It's the same patterns every
yep,
week. Every week. And if you refuse to see it, you refuse to admit that there's a problem to begin with. How can you admit that there's a problem when we're 0 and 5? Put the pieces together and figure out where the root of the problem is. Stop blaming the wrong people.
facts, facts.
And if you want to talk about Bryce Young, yes, he has the potential to do what he does. Yes, he's going to make rookie mistakes. Yes, he's going to screw up and not make the right ball placement sometimes. He's a rookie. Let him breathe. Give him the right playbook. Let him breathe. Don't complain about his size. We don't want to hear that anymore. The size wasn't a factor when he hit that pass to Ian Thomas today. So I don't want to hear anything more about that.
Hey, threw for 3 touchdowns. So hey,
I don't want to hear anything about that from here on. And everybody's going to be yakking about his size all week. That's all we're going to hear. What I'm telling you is drown out the noise. If you're Bryce Young right now, drown out the noise. Just play. Take what they give you and play. Whatever you can do, you can do. Whatever you can't, you can't. We're not going to blame you unless it is actually your fault. Those 2 picks were your fault. Let's not get it twisted. I will throw you under the bus for the plays that are your fault. But the potential and the skills are there. Buried. All you got to do is unlock them. So all the good players that have been putting their hearts into this, I got a message for you. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. It's worth it. You get to keep your job in Carolina. You get to stay here. These fans love you. Be yourselves. Be who you are. And take nothing for granted in Carolina. because you could be out of here in about 0.5 seconds if this management decides it.
This
Because
is
this
true.
management doesn't know what they're doing.
This is very true.
So enjoy your time in Carolina, man, because we're not mad at you. We love you guys. You guys have done everything we've asked you to do. You have earned your paychecks. You have gone above and beyond what we have asked you to do. And to me, that deserves more credit than we're able to give on streams. That shows me you've got heart. You care about this team. You care about this franchise. You care about the future in Carolina. Keep showing up. It's going to be worth it, man. Yeah, you might not get wins. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough, man. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But when we come out of this dark, decrepit tunnel that we put ourselves in as a franchise, you can look back at that year and say, "Oh yeah, I did this, I did that," and you can come out of it with your head up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And say, "I did the best I could with what I had," and that's something worth putting that effort into. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and this franchise is worth putting that love into. It is. From top to bottom, it is. But the management has got to get themselves back together. We got to figure out a way to maximize your potential.
Well
But
said.
yeah, when you hear boos coming from the stands, it ain't for you. It ain't for y'all. I heard Miles Sanders complaining about that last week, and I said, nah, it ain't for you, dog. It ain't for any of y'all that have been putting your heart and soul into this. It's for Frank. It's for this management. And the
Yeah.
Jaro is doing great. I give a Jaro credit. He's doing great. Those boos are not for him either. So, you know, let it go. When you hear the boos, just let it go. Drown them out.
Right.
Play your hardest and be who you are. We'll give you your accolades. We'll love you. We'll support you. We're a family. We always are. From top to bottom. Don't ever forget that.
Mm, that's deep. That's
And
deep.
when push comes to shove, we will defend you.
Right.
So don't ever think you're alone out there. Just doing whatever you're doing and thinking there's no reward for it. There is.
Well,
So
well said. Remind everybody where they can find you.
keep pounding on YouTube in all caps. Um, and if you can't find me through the algorithm on YouTube, which I've heard a lot of people say they can't, go over to the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps. Again, that's the Facebook group page. Just making sure I made that clear. Couple of people got confused on that too.
Hmm. Good reminder. Good reminder. And of course, don't forget, Mr. Carolina can be found at Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast on YouTube. So be sure to check him out as well. He had to dip out a little bit early to be with family, but
Go like and sub to everybody that's a uh, YouTuber or podcaster. Go show the love, man. Everybody deserves it.
yes,
We're
indeed.
all a family. We all deserve that love, and respect each other. Take care of each other. Show some kindness towards one another. We're going to be fighting a lot. This is a time of turmoil for this franchise. Show that love, please. Show that respect towards other people. I don't want to see people coming in my chat or on my page disrespecting each other in their right to have an opinion. Y'all know my rules.
Hmm.
This man right here's got the same rules. It applies to him too. Don't do that. Respect each other, please.
Indeed, indeed. But yeah, keep pounding, family. Unfortunately, another loss, 0-5, but we got
Yep.
one more shot before the bye. Keep pounding. We'll see what happens.
Right.
That's all I can really say. But
Yep.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We had a really good turnout, especially with the
Yep.
comments and the feedback. Had a really good turnout.
Yep.
Thank y'all so much, and
Yep.
shout out to just the Keep Pounding Nation. Just let's continue to stick by one another. Keep pounding. We're gonna get through this.
Yep.
One way or another, we're gonna get through this. So
Yep.
stay upbeat, stay positive. We got a fresh new week that's arrived. So everybody enjoy their week. Hope everybody gets off to a good start and enjoys this week. Keep an eye out. Gonna about middle of the week we'll do the preview for the Dolphins matchup and go from there. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But for another Carolina Panthers talk, brought to you by one one more comment. One more comment just came in from Super Trebo. He
All
says, "Do
right.
do y'all think it's gonna be long time before it gets better, or vice versa? Don't know. I mean,
Depends on the management.
that's what it really depends on. Uh,
Yep.
do I think it's probably more likely to get worse before it gets better? Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Same.
but we don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, we just got to take it one game at a time.
Yep.
I mean, I remember there were times where I wanted to give up, and that was during the season. We ended up making the playoffs at 7-8-1.
Right.
I mean, it's not over until it's over. It's
Right.
it's looking very bleak, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put a stamp on anything until it's over.
Right. Agreed.
So that's all. That's all we can really say. But
Yep.
yeah, good closing comment.
Yep.
Um, But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out for another Carolina Panthers talk brought to you by Keep Pounding Podcast, Ble-
Keep pounding. Stay
Bleeding,
happy, healthy, and well.
indeed, the Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast, as well as Blitzball Champ Gaming. Wow, almost messed up my name. Blitzball Champ Gaming. Everybody, enjoy the rest of this evening and have a blessed week. We will see you all very soon. Take care. Peace out.